What is up, everybody? It is your boy D Roy, and this is the NFL Draft live stream live from Lambeau Field in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin, where I am Paul Burkholtzless. And Paul is
Debbie Fantasy Gymnastics.
somebody needs to go find Paul because he's lost somewhere in the sea of people outside outside the Lambeau Field Stadium in the draft stage. And rumor has it he might be actually inside Lambeau Field, being able to quite possibly watch it on the big screen, but who knows?
How did they do?
Who knows? But we are here. We are live. Find me on Twitter at RoyDog_13. That is the same over on Instagram.
Yeah.
Over on TikTok, RoyDog13. That is the ROYDAWG.
There was one that I
and then over on Facebook, Dennis M. Roy. If you have not found me over there, if you're watching on YouTube, Paul, you keep texting me. But what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, Paul?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Really?
This is that is inside Lambeau Field.
That's awesome.
Right now.
That's inside the bowl?
That is inside the bowl.
You see this picture? Holy crap.
Lambeau is filled.
And then these are all the people in
Lambeau is
Are
filled.
they Division One? Is it? It's not split.
So
She had my small hometown school.
hugs and kisses, Paul. Hugs and kisses.
Gymnastics, fantasy.
XOXO.
XOXO.
It's a lot of fun. You have to try
Fantasy
it.
gymnastics.
Absolutely. It's so much
But we are here. We're waiting for this draft to start up. Apparently,
That's awesome.
Tennessee Titans. The rumor is that the Titans are taking
Who hosts
Cam Ward #1 overall. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, we usually like to take a look.
The website doesn't work very well. You can't do a live draft, and I think drafting is like 90% of the
One
fun.
of them, yeah, right.
So it makes me
Kinda
like,
waiting it
oh,
out.
otherwise we can't live
Hopefully,
draft on the main
get some
website.
comments in here too.
And I think that is a sin.
So is it
I know there's people here.
Yes, collegiate.
I know there's subscribers. I know there's people that I actually went to high school with. I can't find it. I can't find one single person. That's how crowded it is.
Or you can do it.
Of course, I'm half blind anyway, so
And the
kind of is what it is with that. All right, we're officially starting this
I
live
know, right? Like I never
on TV.
NASCAR golf. Yeah, I get all that.
Gymnastic.
But yeah, fun times.
They are the most fun.
Fun times.
The website is called Gymlytics.
And how is everybody? It's beautiful. It was beautiful up here all day. Got up to near 60 degrees. It's got up to near 60 degrees. That is awesome in Wisconsin.
Okay, but it was breezy and it was
I don't
cold.
know what her actual name is.
It was breezy, everybody. It was breezy.
It was
It's not
cold for
easy.
this Floridian.
It's not easy being
That's
breezy.
awesome.
Go back to Florida.
Yeah, that's
And the
learn
Go
it.
back
So
to
wanna
New
go back
York.
tomorrow?
And the best part is, you put up to 10 gymnasts in each event. The top 5 scores count. And whatever score they get on the event,
It's chilly out.
Right.
you don't have to do any like yard.
It is cold. There's a breeze.
Whatever, reception.
If you're from the
Point
south,
or 6 point type, like,
it is
My
way
favorite
too
part
cold.
is
Way
people
too
are gonna
cold.
think that I
so much easier to teach people.
that you were
Right.
cleaned up.
Because you're just whatever score you get, the score that you have. I'm a huge fan.
I'm trying to do a live
yeah,
stream
with all
here.
the different events and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
that,
what
yeah, like
That's what you get for starting early.
I could see it running like rotisserie
For starting
baseball,
early,
like
I am
roto
on
baseball,
time.
Where
I'm
like,
on time.
I've
Hopefully
got-
everybody has checked
we
out
have
all the
to
videos
draft
from the
a,
interviews that we did
bars
yesterday.
specialist.
And all the
Rather
interviews
than,
that
like,
we were actually able to,
Yeah, everybody
kind
wants
of
the
grab
all-around
from
weapon.
everybody else.
There's only so many.
Enjoyed it quite,
That's
immensely.
cool. That
Did the
would be
media
cool.
tour.
We should do it next year.
Got the whole tour of, everything that was going on. How the whole setup looks with, behind the draft stage and everything. That was really cool. So, if anybody wants any of those actual videos, just hit me up. I'll send them to you. No problem whatsoever.
That's awesome.
Haley, are you on Twitter? Or the X or whatever it
I
is?
am on Twitter, but I only post on political and gymnastics posts that take them
We're
off.
getting started here.
If you want to see a bunch
Is
of
Tennessee officially on the clock
Are
yet?
you on Blue Sky?
activism in gymnastics,
No,
you
he
can
hasn't
follow me,
come
but
up.
I don't. You don't have to. Yes. Okay. That one.
He hasn't opened the
Are
draft.
you on Blue Sky? Blue Sky?
Oh,
I'm not on Blue.
You should.
Oh, Roger Goodell on a bike. That's what I want to
I
see.
might look at who better on Blue Sky than on Twitter.
Why don't you ditch the bike and get my friend back into the stage area?
Football Twitter, and I nuked my politics Twitter in November.
Just don't take
because
it
I'm scared.
Understandable.
I don't want to be deported.
you want to?
Be supported.
Goodell drove down
Oh, look at you
the ramp
celebrating.
on a bicycle, just biking around the stadium.
Who else is coming on it? Like, they don't need to have all these people coming on the bikes.
They all look like they've never ridden a bike before.
Because of the bike tradition in Green Bay, the kids letting the players use their bikes to hold it between the practice.
Is that Little Wayne?
Yeah.
Did you just say little?
Little.
Lil. Lil Wayne.
Little Wayne.
Not little.
Little Wayne. So little.
Little Wayne.
You know, E-Weezy wouldn't give me any trouble if I called him Little Wayne.
So,
I'm just saying.
of course, they always do Roger Goodell. Always. She just said, are they bullying him? Yes, ma'am. Oh.
Paul is stuck inside Lambeau Field itself.
Is she good?
So are
He was actually able to, get pretty close to being in front of the draft stage, and he had to go to the bathroom, and then he got stuck inside Lambeau Field. They would not let him back into that lower area where the draft stage was. So the Packers actually opened up Lambeau in the bowl itself. And the bowl itself inside Lambeau Field is actually filled. So they have way too many people in here. Okay. They did shut it. They did shut it to everybody on the outside. It's still probably not as many people as I think we had in Detroit, but it's a lot. It is a lot.
That's who those guys are coming down.
Oh, sorry. Kiana Abraham. She was the one I was saying.
You live in
Over the next 3 days, we will welcome in the next generation of stars into the NFL.
Okay, Roger, let's go.
Every NFL team, and we may have a few surprises for you tonight.
Any questions that you have, you're more than welcome to hit the chat if you're able to. I believe YouTube.
Play Matthew.
But you have to call Lisa.
YouTube and Facebook, they're coming in.
Ray.
He just retired.
Who?
James Jones and Packers superfan Little Wayne.
Super fan?
Lil Wayne's a Packers super fan?
Yes, they show him every home game.
I'm going to go off script here real quick, Roger, but I just got off the phone with the President, Donald Trump. He asked me to pass a message along to all 32 NFL franchises.
Really?
So, let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, my fellow Americans, the best is still
Well done. Well done, Clay Matthews. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Water, there's water, yeah.
That's the red meat being thrown out here in the dairy world.
It's time to get the show started. Are you ready?
Let's see if I can get it. Hold on.
The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
All right, here we got the official start.
I don't know if that was the first surprise that Roger Goodell
Not a swing state.
Illinois, not a swing state.
draft room in Nashville, Tennessee, where we had a terrific draft a few years ago.
Come on, where are my people? Let me know who's in here.
My favorite part is that the first team on the clock is always like, let's just draw it. Like, you don't. You don't
Chase and I talked about that earlier. I talked about that on my show last night. I talked about that on the show on Monday.
Like, if you take your pick to, like, down to less than, like, a minute, and you have the first overall pick, No.
They have the ability to sign a contract before this season.
I know.
And they need to make that a habit.
They went out free agency. They got a couple offensive
So-
linemen to come in. They tried to make this young quarterback friendly for someone like Cam Ward. And Cam Ward, through the process coming into the season, you're talking about somebody who's
Okay, that speaker can be turned down.
I just want to be like,
guys stay in college. They play that extra year and they vault themselves, in this case, all the way up to the top pick in the draft.
I have a camera. Do you need somebody to follow you with a camera?
Oh, I'm sure it is Randy, not Brody. What's up? Damn Scotsman running around.
Yeah.
So
It was like 1996, 97.
Gio, I like the bow tie.
Looking good, my man. Looking good.
My buddy and I went to the work tour when it was in San Francisco.
So the Tennessee Titans are expected to take Cam Ward, which leaves basically Cleveland to be on the clock.
Yeah, we were with Katie.
Who they're going to take, you know, could go any number of ways.
What do you mean we're not?
There has been talk that
What do you mean?
Cleveland was going to trade out, trade to Jacksonville, but that hasn't come to fruition. Talk whether or not they're going to take, Travis Hunter. Nobody's talking about Abdul Carter or Shooter Sanders. Could use an offensive line, to be honest with you.
That's exactly right. And then he winds up at Miami, and again, a no-star recruit with one offer to go to Incarnate. He winds up at Miami. His last year as a consensus All-American is going to get selected #1 in the NFL draft. So you're talking about a guy just earning it in this process. He's earned it since day one in these college careers.
To DJ's point about him coming up through all this, this Incarnate Word, Washington State,
Offensive tackle, quarterback, wide receiver,
come out last year's draft and
running back.
he took the
My dad
extra
just
year with
texted me and just said Clay Matthews, 3 laughing emojis.
That's what DJ's talking about with the
I
number.
said, yeah, we were all laughing about that one.
Corner, safety, D tackle, quite possibly another defensive end. They did trade, or they did pick up Joe Tryon from Tampa,
And then Dusty was sitting here earlier. Yeah.
which would they could get Carter, to be completely honest. What surprised me?
Oh, he's on the phone.
We'll have to see. Tennessee takes Cam Ward. You'd hope that he would at least have the kind of career that Steve McNair had. Not a running quarterback, but a guy that can run. That type of guy.
Yeah, this is going to be fun tape to watch. The comparison for me, body-type play style had some Baker Mayfield to it, and a strong, sturdy presence within the pocket. How about the power? Once you get his feet in the ground, and drive this ball into a tight window. The strength in the pocket, Stevie, you mentioned Steve McNair. This looks a little like McNair. He's going to shrug off the tackle, and then still get the ball accurately down the field. Think about Caleb Williams last year. They let his speed and break some of those elements to his game. But as we're talking about things that need to clean up, there's times he's just trying to do
Tennessee picked up Tyler Lockett.
special plays, which has resulted in some mistakes, as you see here in this.
And another wide receiver to the room.
There's things to clean up, but I'm excited about these guys. And I'll just drop to Shannon Dawson, offensive coordinator for Miami. You talk about energy, positivity they have, and this ability to handle adversity. How about this number? In 13 drives after a turnover last year.
Pick us
Oh,
in. 10 minutes later.
Shockingly.
oh no. How's it going?
Imagine what it's gonna be.
The Tennessee Titans have picked Steve Ward. Who?
What?
Huh?
Oh my gosh. I think I might try and see if I can hear it.
What?
When the third pick was off.
The Browns are going to do, and they choose third overall. In case you're wondering, the last time the Tennessee Titans
Okay, perfect. I mean, I can't go play the game. But somebody said was like, we were told that it was like the last. Yeah, any of them that they tried lucky. And I'm like, I just want to see this stuff. Like, I never know. I just want to know who I only want to see one thing.
The pick is in.
All right, over under. Is it Cam Ward?
It might be. If it comes on Carter, it'd be hilarious.
Comes up what?
Carter. I mean, just hilarious because everybody was saying.
Whoa!
No, they took Cameron Ward.
Oh, the other one.
Miami of Ohio. No big surprise. No big surprise. All right, well, live stream over. We're going home.
Yeah.
We're going. I gotta go home. I gotta go find Paul.
You probably get home before you found Paul. Like it would take you less time to get home.
Probably walk back to my car quicker.
I haven't seen him in a hot minute.
He went to like take that football to his friend.
Depending on where
He's
his
not
friend
there?
was, he might have trouble getting in here.
There's the hallway we walked.
Oh, Browns already made the pick?
How long before they show up into that room?
Dustin was saying sometimes they go through their local media and then the team
Yeah,
call
they've got
and other stuff, and
whole
then get
gauntlet
here.
to, yeah.
But then sometimes they do it backwards and they're in here first and then do all the other stuff. So they don't do the jerseys anymore?
No. Jacksonville did make the trade with Cleveland.
Oh, really?
Jacksonville's on the clock. Jacksonville went from 5 to 2.
Oh, snap. I wonder what was included in that. Let's go to Twitter. Where did Kelly end up going here?
So we got to see what is going on here. Oh, shit. Let's see, usually Ian Rappaport is the guy that goes to on that. Browns and Jaguars trade. Browns receive 5th overall pick. Get 126 overall pick.
And a 2026 first. Wow. It's
38th overall pick. So 1, 2.
Yeah. Whoa.
1, 2, and a 4. Ooh, and the 2026 first rounder. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
They got
Jaguars
the
receive
first round pick last
2nd overall
year.
pick. 4th.
For now, anyway.
4th rounder
They
and
pull a
6th rounder.
sunny.
Jacksonville. This could be Carter. This could be Carter
they
or
taking
Hunter. It's Carter or Hunter. Ashton Genty.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
If they traded up for Genty, I'd
What's
love
this
it.
picture?
Whatever.
And I made sure to
Yeah, so this is Carter or Hunter.
But I might put this with
I think it's pretty simple from my perspective. We prioritize people and players that are intangibly rich, and by doing so, they will elevate our ecosystem.
Wide receiver, tight end, running back, quarterback, backup quarterback,
Simple as that.
offensive line depth,
Everything I know
corner,
about
safety, D tackle, DN, linebacker.
He only likes 3 things in life. He likes catching touchdowns. He likes taking the football away on defense and fishing. That's it. Well, that's part of the ecosystem, right? Didn't you just step out an ecosystem there? Look,
I
you
have
want
to
great
put
players.
this-
That's what you
I
want
have
in
to
all
put my
of this.
hair up.
And he's going to get one.
Hey, Nicole.
Hoodie will end up with my hair.
but he's definitely going to play some defense there as well.
In the meantime, we say hello to Jamie Erdahl right now.
Will Levis probably will sit and work behind him. I don't think there's a trade market for him now.
How does this moment feel to you?
This is the question. I don't think Will Levis has a trade area to go to. There's no value in it right now. I mean, they could, but they just end up getting like a 6th or 7th round, probably a 7th rounder for him. So you might as well just keep him. He's only got.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Levis got 1 more year on that contract. Has he been in the league for 3? Levis.
Levis? No,
Or is this his 3rd year? This is his 3rd year, so he's still got 2 more years left.
Yeah, he'll have this season and next season.
Yeah.
It wasn't first.
So he does, yeah, they don't get the 5th rounder or the 5th year.
For a rare player and talent, they are picking it out right now.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Even my daughter watches.
Hi, Gracie. She's like, who's that?
Hey, she can stay up as late as she wants to. She's on spring break right now.
This guy started 57 games. He attempted 2,300 passes. If you look at guys that won the Super Bowl since 2000, their college career is 35 starts, about 1,200 attempts. So he's got the requisite experience to come in and play well. I think he'll continue to grow. I really love that pick for Tennessee. And then moving forward, guys, to this pick, Jacksonville moving up. We touched on this before the draft here in the pre-show.
Travis
Hunter is the best wide receiver in the draft. He's also the best corner in the draft. And I believe that he should and will play on both sides and he'll contribute. And he's going to be a great player in this league. Gives you the big plays on offense.
Pick is in for Jacksonville. Expecting Carter or Hunter.
One of my partners is a Jags fan. He is over the moon right now.
What's that?
One of my partners is a Jags fan. He's over the moon.
Oh, I can only imagine. They actually made a move.
We're giving you every weapon we possibly can. That's exactly how this feels right now. This has got to be it for Trevor Lawrence.
Hunter is such an amazing talent, such an amazing athlete, and he's going to see one-on-one coverage because that dude on the other side, Brian Thomas Jr., one of the best young players regardless of position in the NFL. So it's all there. Great play caller with an offense that fits Trevor Lawrence. And now he's got 2 big-time weapons. If this is where they go.
Just jumping in here, we've got about 15 seconds to we hear the official. Who do you think Cleveland might choose 5th overall? Who do you think they go down and that they're comfortable with?
Gracie, I did get the patch for your hat, and I actually got, they were out of the actual NFL draft patches. But,
Well, Eric Armstead is the reigning Walter Payton Man of the Year.
if I can find it here.
From Jacksonville, and he's flanking the commissioner.
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men
But-
in the NFL,
Miss
I'd
Faith
like to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a
was able to get them to get you the other patch, so we'll iron that onto your hat. So you'd be one of the only people that actually has 2 of those 2 patches for your hat.
recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024
Let's see
Walter
what we
Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
First off, I want to say thank you to the commissioner, thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and nationwide, and also tonight I want to encourage each player.
Paul's in the chat.
Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place.
Is he still in the bowl?
As we remember,
I believe so.
Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own.
Kelly just
Thank you.
texted me.
You guys going out for New England's pick?
Yeah, we're gonna see
You try to get somewhere in there?
where it can get to.
See if you can get into that leap section that's on the side, that covered area. I believe her pass might get you guys in there. That leap zone, that one, there's a set of like tents that are on the one side. It's the closest to the exit over here. When you go out towards the draft, as soon as you come around that corner, like you're coming over the draft, there's an entryway in there. Just see if your pass works in there. Get underneath that tent. Get underneath there. Travis Hunter. There it goes. Just so everybody knows, Paul Burkholz got himself a nice stadium seat inside Lambeau Field. Traded next year's first rounder. That's big. But, you know, if you want your guy. But still, they traded up 3 spots. And I suppose, though, because there was talks of the Giants going after Hunter. Quite possibly the Patriots going after Hunter. So one of those two within the next 2 picks. So they were going to have to come up. There was even talk of Cleveland taking them at 2. So see what happens. He's a dynamic playmaker on both the offense and the defensive side. What's up, Ladder? Good pick. Good pick. Good pick over there. Now we got the Giants. There was talk of them taking Shedeur Sanders, but I don't think they're going to take him this high. There was talk of them if Sanders drops, which he could, but they'd have to get in front of the Saints at 8 or at 9. So they could trade out. If, say, the Jets or Carolina wants to come up, but nobody's really talked trade with Giants. They'd have to trade up out of 2, but that's going to cost them a lot just to make that huge jump. The smart pick is Abdul Carter, get the pass rusher. But they do have a couple of other needs as well.
The Jacksonville Jaguars just traded up to get your services to their team. What conversations have you had with them with how you are going to be used in the NFL?
The crazy part is I had no conversation with them outside of the combine, so I didn't know what to expect, and I'm excited that they came to pick me. I wanted to cry, but I can't cry right now because I'm too excited.
We can feel that. Congratulations, Travis.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Quarterback, definitely. They need a guard. Good look at Tyler Booker, still kind of high. Another wide receiver, really, to go with Malik Neighbors. Running back. Corner, D-tackle, linebacker. You could take Carter. You can put him in the ground in that 3-4 base. You can also do the flex. You can put him as a speed rusher. That wouldn't be too bad of a pick.
Remember, this is the #1 player in the country that decided to go to HBCU to play for Deion Sanders. Why? So that he could bet on himself.
I think this is Carter. No. I'm surrounded by dart lovers. I don't like Dart at all. It's kind of like what I explained on there. He looks exactly like J.J. McCarthy, although he's got a stronger arm.
I just don't see how he doesn't succeed at the next level. He's a unicorn.
Oh, we're not even getting to Green Bay. You tell your mom and your dad that you can stay up a lot later. Make sure that you can see that pick. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens when we get to Green Bay, because there was talks of Jair Alexander getting traded, quite possibly to Pittsburgh, and then the Packers would get George Pickens in the deal. Whether or not that's true, who knows? There's a lot of horse shit that goes on with this. Like I said, getting back to the thing, Jackson Dart, I don't like him. He's got that ballerina toss. He's a hard tosser. He's a baseball thrower. So what happens is he dips that front shoulder, and when he comes through, he completely picks up. He picks up and he spins towards his front foot. So what that does is that, and I said this with McCarthy last year, McCarthy last year, is when they spin like that, it's harder to throw to the left. That's what Trubisky had a problem with the Bears. So here's the Giants. Abdul Carter.
So the first spot would have gone to Shedeur Sanders, and the expected Dawghouse is expected to.
There we go. Abdul Carter. It's a good pick. And like I said, like I had asked him, if he was asked to, stand up and rush from that outside linebacker position, would he be happy? Would he be all right with it? Absolutely. Anywhere he needs to be. He's very sure of himself. He's cocky, but he's not. He's cocky, but he doesn't give off an asshole vibe when you meet him. So I like Carter. It's just that kind of. It's that guy that you need, right? Out of your high end, defensive player. You kind of want a dickhead.
These are early, quick wins for Abdul Carter. He used to be an off-ball linebacker. You wanted to play off the ball, no problem. He can range laterally sideline to sideline.
There we go. Saying it right now. All right, so we got Carter off the board. Got the New England Patriots. This has been being predicted as an offensive lineman, offensive tackle. So Will Campbell, somebody like that. So here we go. Here's what they need: offensive tackle, wide receiver, running back, just a backup at quarterback. So not worried about that. D tackle, DN, corner, and linebacker. So they just had two defensive players taken right out in front of them. So we are going to see. We're going to look at our best available. Overall, so somebody like Jalen Walker, Mason Graham would make sense for the defensive guys. Lambeau, offensive tackle, maybe. But Will Campbell's been kind of, projected to kind of go here. What we're going to see on that. Michael Williams, it's quite possible. You look at offense, Ted McMillan, who wants to be called T-Mac. He could go, but he hasn't been projected to go until later, just because you have the two top tight ends, and Tyler Warren and Colson Loveland, rated so high, much higher above the wide receivers. Which, yeah, they're good, but I mean, tight end's never really been a position that you're going to draft super high. I think we get a little too full of ourselves looking at, say, Brock Bowers, who actually had just an absolutely phenomenal rookie year, and going, oh, well, this guy can do it too. So I am set up in the Joe Spo, thanks for coming in. Set up in the Resch Arena, the conference Expo Center. There we go.
The Cleveland Browns wound up coughing up another selection in this draft too.
Unfortunately, I have a speaker that's kind of in my ear. Prefer not to be in it. It's nice to have the TV right here, but it just kind of sucks.
Joel, you are born and raised in Philadelphia. You are wearing a New York Giants hat now. What does it tell you about
Give
your
you kind of a
football
look
future
around.
and the commitment the New York City market has made to you?
That right there, where they're going in, right there, that's where the press conference area is. So that whole long ice, that's all the press conference area. It's huge this year. They were packed. These places were fucking packed. The last couple of drafts that we were actually up in here, it was really bad. So just kind of give you an idea. You know, huge ass room. Nice.
Paul wasn't able to get a media pass this year, so we had issues trying to get him. You know, I tried to get a media pass for the website. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. The website has to grow a little. It has to grow bigger. My social media following, basically on Twitter, is the one that they really look at for whatever reason. Even though I believe that Twitter is dead. I only have 1,200 followers, so they don't see it as a huge media presence. So I wasn't able to get the passes. Women of Fantasy Football had an extra one, but they only had the one. So, you know, I'm the face of the website, so I have to have it. And unfortunately, Paul wasn't able to do it. But we were able to get him in for the rookie deal, the rookie meetings, and actually taking a look at the media preview of the draft area. So we got to go up on the draft stage. We got to walk that hallway back down to the green room where the players come out when their names are announced. So got to do a lot, but the unfortunate part is I don't have them here, and that's what I really wanted. It's really different. I do not like doing this by myself, and I don't know if I can get him. I have to check with Paul if he's got his battery pack with him still. We can see if I can send him a message and see if he can stream in here. But I don't want to kill his battery too, because we need to meet up at some certain point. And if shit goes down, you know, with this whole crush of people in here, who knows?
Lowe's knows the projects you build in spring are the ones you can't wait to share. It's why we make sure you have the best deals with My Lowe's Rewards, and that you get help from people who.
I know. It's not much fun.
Well, you built something.
Plus, I had a whole bunch of people just like talking in my ear, and then all of a sudden now they want to all go out. And it's like, all right, it is kind of quiet. I do kind of enjoy this, but I want my guy. I always want my guy here.
Turn the off season on again.
So,
With the NFL,
came back to the draft. What do we got? We got Patriots. Pick us in. There it is. Will Campbell, LSU offensive tackle.
The moves, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
Is this the George? This must be George Pickett on George Pickens. I like Pickens. I still like Pickens. He's a dick. He's an asshole, but I mean, I'll take him on my team. I like him. I like him coming out of Georgia. Oh, I know where he's at, Derek. I have tabs on him. Here, we're gonna share this one. This is Derek. He's actually here.
With the fourth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
So the Patriots decide to go for protection up front for their diamond in the rough quarterback rather than anything.
Trust me, we're gonna end up doing a whole bunch of live streams and stuff this year. We're gonna be a lot better, a lot different. So we'll have some other stuff once everything gets, you know. I need everybody to help this thing grow. That's the thing. It's never going to just be me. So here's what that trade was. This is for Jason wants to know, what did the Jags give up to get Hunter? Just got home. So Jaguars gave up a fifth round, or the fifth overall pick, number 36, which is second round, a fourth round, and the first pick of next year's draft, or the first round pick of next year's draft. Jaguars then received the second overall pick, got a fourth rounder and a sixth rounder back. So the big thing is that they gave up that first rounder from next year. So they spent a lot on it. Will Campbell, LSU. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. He's definitely an offensive tackle.
You better start taking care of that young quarterback, especially tonight with Will Campbell. I'm interested in what Kurt's talking about the way Drake played last year, but I thought he played well enough where it's like, okay, we got something here now. Let's go build around him.
So now we got the Browns again. Unless they want to trade back again, which is possible.
That's a win. When I did a Patriot game last year, I normally like to try and circle the offensive line like they pressure rate that he had last year. They've done a lot of free agency, and now they just had a the bottom line is this. I mean, the Patriots got Stephon Diggs to that offense.
What am I doing? Good God.
Should improve things, both of those, along with this draft choice, as Mike Vrabel's first draft choice as the new HC of the New England Patriots. It's time to welcome Will Campbell to Prime Time, presented by Nationwide. Jamie?
Could take Lambeau in here. There's talking. This could be Sanders, though, too.
You haven't stopped smiling since you heard your name. What's behind that smile?
Man, just all the hard work.
What's behind that smile? Love? I don't know. Yeah, you could take. Yeah, you can have Jalen Walker here, Mason Graham. Go offense.
We can feel that. We absolutely can feel that, Will. You are brought to New England to protect Drake.
Could take Gente. Could take Gente. I mean, they don't have Nick. They don't have Nick Chubb. Lambeau out of Missouri would be interesting. I think Will Johnson and Barron, the corners are too high here.
Rich, with the Cleveland Browns next in 5, my understanding is they got several calls from teams about potentially trading back. They have some interesting options. They're the top defensive lineman on the board. They have 2 top offensive linemen. We'll see what the Browns end up doing. And then obviously have Joe Carter went to the Giants. Don't rule out the Giants coming back into the first round to try to get a quarterback. Yes, even Shador Sanders, definitely the realm of possibility.
Definitely keep an eye on all.
Cleveland has to pick in.
Almost halfway through their first round of draft pick. The first ever Pete Carroll's returned to the coaching the first time Tom Brady being officially part of the ownership group.
Restructured Deshaun Watson's contract. You need to push money back to the years. No more dead cap space.
Waiting for guys to make a choice. Who do you think Cleveland's choosing? Is it Ashton Genty, or do you think? I would think
Mason Graham, D tackle from Michigan, going to Cleveland. Good pick.
Ashton Genty's my highest rated player, but they have a glaring tackle need. And they have other options out there. Armando Lambeau is out there. Calvin Banks from Texas.
Yeah, they're building up, keep building up that defense. It's the AFC North.
There's guys they can move down and get at that position of need. So they just didn't get the value they needed. So
I'd like to think that, Cleveland Browns were watching my Mason Graham videos. They were like, We're taking Mason Graham. The D-Roy knows what he's talking about. Might not be fast, but he sure as fuck is quick.
Mason Graham.
Good defensive line.
What a pick.
What if people what I'm calling was you know, Mason Graham's time, you've got all these
What a pick.
Get that extra first next year too.
They're racing 60 years.
They were probably just sitting there like messing with Jacksonville. They're like, nah, you got to give us your fucking first rounder next year. And they're like, oh, really? That's it?
To penetrate, make his way into the backfield, just a dominant player against the run.
Mason Graham is good, dude.
I think there's more growth to come there, but he shows you in flashes when he can get on an edge and get to the half of a man.
There's not many D tackles that really impressed me. He impressed me watching him.
One of the most productive, consistent players in this draft class. When I think about the last 15 years in college football, I think of the most disruptive and impactful defensive tackles that I've seen. And Dominic Sue comes to mind. Nick Fairley.
I haven't. I'm gonna put Derek's thing on here.
He is always on his feet. He is
I haven't spent much time outside. I pretty much got here. I've been working all fucking day. Doing a lot of video work, a lot of social media shit. That takes a lot of time. But just walking around because I had to go from the north side of Lambeau over to the south side to get to the Resch. And they opened up the stadium so you could walk through it.
Have you?
So I actually went to the NFL. I did go to the NFL store. It wasn't bad. It was tight in there. I had to get the patch for my daughter's hat. And walking around, it was still cheerful. You're talking like 80% of the people here are Packer fans. It's a sea of green.
We have breaking news. I'm here in Green Bay live at the draft. Raider Domus has breaking news before the broadcast. Who did the Raiders pick at 6? Raiders draft Ashton Genty. That is fantastic.
Thinking to myself, hey, the defensive tackles won the game. And they did that against Ohio State, who won the national championship. Ohio State kept trying to run
Okay. They're about to announce it on the thing.
They single-handedly won that game in Columbus. Look at me when you're saying that. Look at him. In all honesty, the most important trait.
I am surprised. I am shocked.
Around is someone who knows how to wear the state of Ohio. And you were saying, and I'm just backing your play. Which is picking up what you're putting down. I do see. Meanwhile, we were talking about he is 4-0.
Right. I don't know if you heard that.
Mason Graham, you are a
Another site
Michigan
that's
man, but did you just
saying
make
that
the state of Ohio?
Raiders are drafting Ashton Genty here.
You hang up that
Hard price not to believe him.
Okay.
Next to Miles Garrett every day. How does that sound?
It's such a blessing. He's a fierce competitor. I want to play with guys like that. And yeah, he's the real deal. So
Congratulations, Mason.
appreciate it.
So we were talking in mock draft world, right?
The Raiders need the running back.
Yeah, and it's surprising to me simply because there are going to be a ton of valuable running backs later. It goes against what Spytek has done, but looking at the grids analytically, Ashton Genty jumps off the charts. I saw a draft score applied to running backs since 2007, and Genty is one of like 5 or 6 who scored a 95 or higher, and he had a 95.2. He is legit, and that's fine.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
That's what he was saying.
the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty.
And there it goes.
There it goes.
And outside of the trade, the players have all been exactly everything.
All right. So for all of you fans at Uncovered, that was your breaking before the ESPN broadcast. We just brought that to you. There's also going to be an Ashton Genty interview that I'm going to be having as soon as he gets up to the podium. I'm in the podium room waiting on the guys to come in there. Here we got Nicolette. If you guys want to like stay on and keep going, Nicolette, how do you feel about the Genty pick? Yeah, so I've said from the beginning that it's not how I would do it. It's not how I thought SpyTech would do it, but I would be okay with it. I took the last 2 months to talk myself into it, and I'm okay with it. So
I'm okay with this comment.
We're gonna have our Uncovered show
still
at
have
the
a
normal
Mary
time, 8
Hampton out
o'clock
there.
Pacific tonight. It'll be 10
And
here
I like
in Green Bay
Hampton
where I
actually
am.
better.
I don't know what bar
Or I
or
should
strip
say
club I'm
more.
going to be at broadcasting from, but we will be doing it. I'm going to get back into the draft room. You guys want me to cut it, or you guys want to stay and talk? Okay, I'm gonna. Raider Thomas, do you have end stream up in your top corner? Okay, so I'm gonna bounce out, and then you guys can do whatever. I will see everybody 8 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Green Bay time, and then I will also have the video of Genty's press conference and everything. I'm still waiting on Cam Ward. All right, Genty!
Your Jets are up. Jets have been talked about lately for getting a tight end. Which I'm not really with.
Here's what I love about Ashton Genty is it's, again, kind of like Cam Ward, a bit of a long road. Richie, his military family was in Italy, so then he moves to Texas, doesn't get a starting role on his high school team, so he has to play slot receiver.
Talking to the Jets as being a possible spot for Jackson Dart at one point. I'd like to see him get an offensive tackle here. This could be Lambeau. T-Mac would make sense here for the wide receiver. This could be Warren or Loveland. If you look at defense, corner, D tackle, safety, linebacker, but that's most of that is backups.
We're going to get that when we come back from break.
Yeah. You need a linebacker. They have Jalen Walker. John Campbell would be better. Lambeau, offensive tackle. Johnson's getting up there. Johnson and Barrett are getting up there in corner. Hairston as well.
I am ready. I'm kind of chuffed. Yes, absolutely. It went against everything that I think in terms of how to build a football team. It went against everything that I think about running back value. It went against every single piece of me, but you can't argue the talent. And there are some metrics out there, some 4-quadrant charting, where Ashton Genty is just absolutely off the chart as far as the talent. There have been some lists of guys giving draft grades to players, running back since 2007. There have been a handful of them with draft grades over 95. Genty is one of them. That's fantastic. On top of that,
Then
I
Chicago
talked
at
earlier
10.
about how good Caleb Johnson is and how Caleb Johnson was second in college football in seeing stacked boxes last year. Well, Ashton Genty was
If
number
you get a
one.
good pass
So
rusher,
the season that he put together at Boise State,
Carolina needs
including
pass
going to
rusher.
the NCAA playoffs, including the game that he had over 100
Pass
yards rushing
rusher
against Penn
corner
State.
would make sense.
Although he
there.
only averaged 3.5 yards per carry, he was seeing 8-man boxes. He saw more 8-man
New
boxes
Orleans
than
could use
anybody in college
quarterback.
football last year.
They need an
He's the
offensive
truth,
tackle,
and
actually.
as a Raider fan, I mean,
Offensive
it
tackle,
brings
running
me
back.
shades
So
of
offensive tackle would make
having
sense.
a guy in the room with the ability of Josh Jacobs. Give him 50 or
For
60
New Orleans.
receptions every year. We've
So
seen
then that would leave
Jacobs
the Bears
lead
with possibility
the
Hampton
NFL in rushing yards.
at running back.
It opens
They
up
could
things
take
for
one
the
of the
play
two tight
action, which
ends
Cam
if they
Ward is
fall.
good at. That
The
just
Jets
makes
don't
Brock
take
Bowers
one.
even better, and Jacoby Myers. They can use a second-round pick to get somebody like Trey Harris or Jaden Higgins to play on the X, on the boundary. And all of this is coming together. I've said on my own coverage show, on my Raiders show a few times, the offseason moves that the Raiders made as far as coaching decisions and free agent signings looked like they were trying to run it back with the defensive side and build on the offensive side, and that kind of fits right here. The offensive line still remains mid. I think they're going to be ranked 15th or 16th, but we're going to have a year of improvement from DJ Blaze. We have a year of improvement from Jackson Towers Johnson, and then we have Caleb Miller returning to form after his injury season and possibly being a Pro Bowl left tackle once again, as long as they get him signed to his extension. So look for the Raiders to beat their 6.5 over-under on the win.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/overandoubles.
Checking on who's back there, still here,
Sure.
even green edge, as we're now getting ready to find out who the first pick of the draft is for Kenny Green. As Will Johnson of University of Michigan is back there. His teammate from the championship team 144 as it's known in Michigan. Just went to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, last year, the Jets had an opportunity to pick the top tight end of the draft board. One offensive line with always
Jets pick is in.
They have a shot at going for the top tight end with pick number 7 in the draft board.
We'll have a little chat after this pick.
Lambeau,
offensive tackle
Lambeau
out of
and
Missouri.
I participated in a lot of off-seasons and workouts, and he tried hard. He couldn't keep up with me, but he tried his best, and I think it's a great pick.
So there
for
we
the
go.
Jets.
Get the offensive tackle.
He's my
That's something
favorite
that they
offensive
needed.
lineman in the draft, and they got a good one. They're gonna need somebody to be able to protect Justin Fields, and that was pretty good.
The New York Jets select Armand Lambeau, Missouri, tackle.
So tight ends are available. Could go tight end down in New Orleans too. But Carolina has a lot of needs. Most of it's on defense. They could grab another.
He did line up on the left side at least a couple of times for Missouri, and he did it against LSU. And there's some video out there of him going up against Mason Graham. There's also video of him going up against Alabama, where he was on the left side just destroying people, and he's a great pick. Okay, then I'm mixing stuff up, and it's not the Mason Graham thing. It's the Alabama video that I saw, and he was just fine.
But tomorrow, Friday, is going to be a big sales day, selling day, along with on Saturday. You'll have a lot of families and stuff. So anybody who doesn't know, now you're gonna know. So we got the stickers.
Absolutely.
There's the original dog.
What makes iconic?
The adult only. DHMFer. Everybody loves it.
Every moment. It's
This is the one that everybody wants. Everybody loves the Green Bay dog. Made sure I'm going to pull a couple out. But I can order more too. Now, the draft exclusive, the ones that nobody gets unless you're here. That one. That's the Super Beast one.
Putting the most advanced technology.
That's or the Devil Dog, as everybody wants to call it.
After generation.
They're fun.
Tool after tool.
Everybody's loving them.
And again.
So,
bringing you the most reliable network of authorized sales and service dealers. Always moving forward. We lead, others follow. Why can't we
get all these going on?
Because while true, you just can't say that.
While we're out and about.
What did he say? Homes.com. It's the best.
We got the deal. The NFL Draft 25 promo code. That's the $50 for a year for life, which everybody who subscribed last year got. We're running that same promotion again. And essentially going to try to get new subscriptions sold through probably May 3rd. May 3rd or May 4th. I'm going to do the cutoff. That's how long the site's open. You know, where you don't need to enter your password or anything to kind of look around on there. I am doing giveaways right now with that. So there's gonna be like the raffle. You know, you get your name put in. Since I have some subscribers in here, you can kind of spread the word on those up through that 3rd. And I haven't done the video yet. I have 3 Packers jerseys autographed.
In case of an emergency. Thanks, Pizza.
God, I'm brain farting. I got Dorsey 11. I have a Dorsey 11. I have a Antonio Freeman, and then I have goddamn what? The kid who tore his ACL.
We have to get to mom and dad's and get them somewhere safe.
God, why am I brain farting on him?
I've got an updated list of that mess.
I feel so stupid.
That's just what we need to get them to take the cities.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would. Start a conversation.
I've been up way too long. Christian Watson and a Christian Watson jersey. I got a Christian Watson helmet. I have a Lucas Van Ness helmet. I have one of the mini draft helmets from this year's draft. That's going in there, and then there's going to be 4 hats that I had printed last year that were supposed to come with me to the draft last year, but didn't make it in time. So I'll have 4 of those hats in there. So anyone that signs up is going to be involved. You know, is going to have their name put in there. All the subscribers who are already in there are going to have their names in there. So you guys are all going to get to watch out for that. So we'll do that. We'll do that next Sunday. We'll have the draw on that. I'll do it on the live. Do it on the live for Saturday or that Sunday. We'll get Paul involved in that. So if you're subscribed, you're in there. But you have to be a subscriber. So we're going to try and push sales. We're going to try and push sales, get as many people in there as humanly possible for this season. Oh, Carolina took T-Mac. McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. There we go. That's a good pick. That is a good pick. T-Mac. Thought they go defense, they went offense.
In the 2025 NFL Draft,
T-Mac.
the Carolina Panthers select Tyrod McMillan.
Wide receiver,
And they go Ted McMillan, who is technically the second wide receiver chosen tonight.
Yes, you are.
Arizona coming out, and he's going to join this offense in Carolina.
Well, David Allis got this job based off what he did in Tampa Bay with a big receiver like Paul Jones and that explosive offense they had there. So he goes out and gets one as a head coach against Ted McMillan, who is very long, rangy, kind of remind me a little bit of Drake London in some instances. Watch him go up and get the ball.
If anybody's wondering, yes, I did. Both me and Paul got the authentic draft helmets from this year's draft. Not a huge fan of it. It's kind of a lime green. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of what the logo was, like that kind of that darker Packer green. But it is what it is. It's not like I wasn't going to get it. Still got to try and find a Vegas one. I want to try to find them all.
Huge production. I mean, huge production. 174 catches, 2,700 yards, and everybody in the building knew he was getting the ball. I mean, that's just the flat out facts of it. And this is not an excuse, DJ, but I would just say there are some colleges and college offenses that will teach in their coaching room, in their individual rooms, the backside receiver. Hey, take this.
He's a goofball.
You know, and so I don't like it either when I see it on film. But I'm telling you, these guys, some of them are coached to do that in these offenses, and it's tough to scout when you're seeing that on film. But this guy in a 50-50 situation, CD.
All right, so Ted's gone. Now we got the Saints.
They need him to come along and play better. McMillan, another big, wide-ranging target.
I still think we could take Hampton here.
A little more forgiving as they throw it down.
Being honest.
So Bryce Young now has a 10 to go in his league.
Everybody's like, no, they got Kamara. Kamara's old. Kamara's ready to go. They do not have anybody there that they want or that they like.
For a young quarterback, and just look out, here goes. I got one-on-one. I got my
We
guy over there. I don't have to overthink this. I can go back.
They need to have an offensive tackle. There's no way they could go in with Trevor Penning being their right tackle. There's no way. No way. Need another wide receiver, running back, quarterback. So this could be a standard spot. We don't know.
You know, to put on for my partners and people. So shout out to all my partners, man. We did it.
They could use another corner, linebacker. Safety's probably too high here. D tackle, DM.
They got a big face of Bryce Young.
So any type of rusher. So let's see here.
I'm tell you right now, that Cali connection will be something different. I promise.
Walker, Campbell.
Thank you so much.
Those guys are possibilities here. Will Johnson, Barron, Hairston at corner. Michael Williams, James Pierce Jr., Derek Harmon, D tackle from Oregon. Walter Nolan, D tackle possibility.
That brings us around to the quarterbacks. They did all the homework on the quarterbacks. Be surprised if Shedeur Sanders was the pick here, but several other quarterbacks they like in this round.
Well, they have Shedeur and Grip as from
Let's see what happens here.
Why would you say you'd be surprised if it's Shedeur Sanders with this pick here?
Which, just based on my conversations, either it's the longest count of all time, or the Saints liked Tyler Shook and Jackson Dart just a little higher, just based on the overall package that Shedeur Sanders.
Thank you very much, Ian. Your sense on this?
Well, I talked to a lot of folks around this quarterback situation. I try and see who's doing the most work. Now, it's one thing with the Travis Hunter to maybe try and play coy and lay back and just meet with him at the combine. If you're going to take a quarterback and put your job in his hands, teams do a full-scale workup on them, and it just didn't seem to me like they were the same.
Offensive tackle Calvin Banks Jr. out of Texas.
This early in the draft, so I thought they were more of a day 2, second round. At that point in time, you take your shot. But just talking to people all around this kind of ecosystem of quarterbacks,
okay,
I'm getting at. That was not the vibe they were getting. Last time I
Calvin Banks Jr.
a quarterback so publicly.
A little high.
That he was taken by the team.
A little high.
Mike Shanahan ordered his people to stay on. He did all the work up on his own.
Calvin Banks Jr. Calvin Banks Jr. Tennessee offensive tackle.
Here's the commissioner with the Saints choice.
They need to get Penning off that starting right tackle spot. That's why. Dude, he was so terrible.
NFL draft.
Terrible.
New Orleans Saints select Calvin Banks Jr. Tackle, Texas.
Yeah, he'd be good. He'd be good at guard. All right. Calvin Banks Jr. Due to his load, gains great leverage on his run blocking and stalks the defender back, working in the next level. Holds his ground with his pass blocking, working the pass rusher in the middle or to the outside, keeping the pocket clean. Keeps his hands inside and is able to take on double teams. Like this kid quite a bit and was Texas' best offensive lineman. All right, so that's what I was worried about. There was only like one lineman that I really liked from Longhorns offensive line, and it happened to be him. So, I like it. Because they can move Fuaga over to the other side now. They can move Fuaga over from left to right, or they can insert Banks in at right tackle and let him, kind of work his way into the NFL until, maybe another year or two, and then move over to the left side. So, good pick. Good pick. Smart pick.
So then he had gone through. I spoke with his mother, who, she almost passed away when he was in college, and she told me that she was so grateful that his father, Calvin Banks Sr., spent so much time with him and his brother, teaching them.
Bears pick is in.
She said they were in church, her and Junior, and she had a seizure, and Junior actually drove her home. She said, I didn't even know he could drive a car, but because of what my husband taught him, Calvin Banks Sr. So, fine young man, Calvin Banks Jr.
Yeah, that's all.
And I think this guy's got diversity. I think play guard, could play left tackle, could play guard, could play right tackle.
Yeah, he's very smooth, this guy.
Set your alarms. The schedule will be dropped on May 14th. There we go. Lock it in. We can't wait. You can tweet it out,
Don't
tell
give a shit.
everybody, and don't miss it. Be sure to check out all the great content from the NFL team site, the club social channels.
I don't care about the
around
schedule
the
release. The only thing that's good about it is just the fact that I can start on my freaking spreadsheet. That's the only thing.
I know. It's basically here at this point.
Give
Guys,
a
get ready
fuck.
and buckle up.
I like the
Season of
T-Mac.
your lives.
I like T-Mac to Carolina. I like it a lot. You have to give the quarterback weapons. You got to give Bryce Young weapons. So you could put McMillan would be the 1, Leggett would be the legit 2 on there. You put him more in a possession role, which is what he's more comfortable being. McMillan would be more of the high flying guy. Who the Bears taking? If they take the fucking tight end, I'm gonna be like, whatever.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend. Bears Hall of
No, they're going to
Famer
be
Steve
Steve Michael. Good. I was hoping they'd say
My
something
heart
about it.
is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Missy, please know you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the fourth pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steven Reichel's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness, not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community. With the
they're stalling out this pick.
NFL Man of the Year award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colston Hutland, tight end, Michigan.
Colson Loveland. He's more of a move tight end. That's why they take him, because they can go two tight ends, keep Cole Kmet in, and work out from the end of the line. Colson Loveland can actually go out in the slot. It's much like what the Bills do with Dalton Kincaid in there. So they're going to treat him basically like he's a third wide receiver. That's essentially what you're going to see. Him going above Tyler Warren is a little sus, but I mean, a lot of teams have them rated pretty close together. So you'll see a lot of DJ Moore, Roma Dunze on the outside, and then Loveland more out in the slot, flexed out. It'll be a flex 12 set. Our offensive line is legit. They could have used the defensive end. I mean, when they brought Grady Jarrett over from Atlanta for free agency. Cowboys are probably pretty pissed that they took 10. Paul's laughing at it too. All right. Okay. So Dallas is on the clock. So 49ers have made their pick. So they're stalling out right now. So again, San Francisco could take any number of guys, positions and whatnot. They have a lot of needs.
San Francisco for affordability. What you might not know is performance and
guard
capability
tackle.
go right along with it. You see, we test, and then we test.
They can use wide receiver, depends on what they still think of Ricky Pearsall. Should probably be pretty high, so that's backup. Backup running back. Or somebody to potentially replace Christian McCaffrey.
Whatever you do,
quarterback. That's backup. You need somebody to back up at tight end.
It's going to stay like that. USAA,
Defense, they need D tackle.
She can share with you. Easy.
They need a linebacker, corner, and safety. They really need a corner. They suck on the outside.
In Green Bay.
Which ones do you want? You want the gray ones or do you want the green ones? Do you want that one? This is the one. This is the one that everybody wants. I'm gonna order a whole new stack of these.
This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed with money back. This stuff works.
Those were popular.
Small lawns. I guess you can call them long lawns. This stuff works without killing your lawn. This stuff works without killing your weekend. This stuff works for the rookies and the season pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronx, Rockville, Marysville. This is Roundup. This stuff works. The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. The stage and the quarterback.
It's kind of weird they're not announcing who's in there for. They're not announcing who's in the room before, like they did years before.
As we take a look at the green room built by Lowe's, the Niners pick is in.
Want a green gold one?
4 minutes left, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Don't worry about it. I'll order another sleeve.
The Niners are going to take Tyler Warren, obviously, with the great George Kittle sitting there getting ready to get paid. There's Matthew Golden in that green room right now.
I'm gonna have to because I wanted to give him away at the at our league draft.
Same thing with Golden because he's sitting in the green room and
so I'll order
the
something.
Niners are clapping for one would think. Another player there is the general manager, John Lynch, with Jed York behind him, celebrating the latest San Francisco 49er, 11th overall. Daniel, your thoughts?
Curious to see who they're going to tackle.
I mean, you look at all the losses they had over the offseason. They need to nail this draft.
For the moment, let's send things to the stage.
Please direct your attention to the main stage video screen for a special message from United States service members stationed at Yokota Air Base in Japan.
Hello from United States Forces Japan. I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm here with service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We're proud to announce that this year we are celebrating our 250th anniversary. We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with the NFL Salute to Service and the USO in introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
With the San Francisco 49ers draft pick, back to you in Green Bay.
So here comes the commissioner now with that pick. Chance of USA mixed in with the requisite booze for the Niners here in Packers
Thank
country.
you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams,
There you go.
defensive end,
Yeah.
Georgia.
Daniel?
Yeah, Nick Bosa gets a running mate on the opposite side there. Leonard Floyd is gone. He departed in free agency. They also lost Hargrave, the defensive tackle. So they needed to invest, I thought, either in the offensive line or the defensive line. And in Michael Williams, they get someone who...
I missed the cue that Charlie Murphy
gave. Year and through the process, I don't know that he would have even got to them here with the 11th overall pick. He got a little picked up and hurt in that opening game against Clemson and wasn't quite right, although you saw the flashes as the year went along. Big time upside. I mean, he is going to be the first one off the bus, and that's saying something when you've got Nick Bosa on your team. He is a big time, great looking dude. He's got.
Now we have Dallas.
Texas saw the flashes. Yes, they did. There was those flashes. They just weren't consistent.
Hey, here we go.
But he's very long. He's got long arms, and he uses that
wide receiver. Still believe they can use a running back.
Able to get through and get to the quarterback. I like the idea of
potential quarterback
out more. He had a lot of tight alignments in that Georgia defense. San Francisco.
I do like their offensive line, although they could use an offensive tackle. Maybe.
All that explosive power was shown really, really well. You know, he was versatile for Kirby Smart, but again, I think
linebacker,
against him because he
corner, and they still need to get that fucking defensive tackle taken care of.
Georgia, they will say he was a great locker room
Just
guy.
run right up the goddamn middle on them every fucking year.
You go wrong with Georgia defenders in the recent vintage. I just don't think you can go wrong.
And you could see, having lost Greenlaw and Ofunga to the Broncos in free agency, they add a piece of
D-tackle, linebacker, corner. That's the way I would go.
Coordinator again, so Jerry Jones took his time. They were the first team to take it under a minute tonight in the first round, and they're celebrating and high-fiving. Listen, I think the Cowboys would have been ecstatic.
Everybody's sitting there cheering around Jerry Jones.
Matthew
As
Golden,
if they don't, they
Tyler
fucking
Warren,
fly.
and Jalen Walker would all be on the board for them to choose, and they might be going somewhere else than all of those three as well. So we'll find out who the Cowboys are celebrating. The new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, just had the phone handed to him.
Walker, Pierce, or Harmon. If they take an edge rusher,
Newest Dallas Cowboy is, and here
if they take an edge rusher, I mean, it could be Nolan too. If they take an edge rusher, that's not a good sign.
With the 12th pick,
That's not a good sign for Preston.
2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama.
All right.
So it is a guy named Tyler, but it's Booker. They go offensive line.
Can I jump in real quick?
Charles Davis.
Earlier tonight, our colleague, Kurt Warner, talked about the Cowboys being intriguing. What's going to happen with their draft? And what did Kurt fall back on at the end? Will they do something bold, or will they do what they always do and draft an offensive line? DJ, take it away.
Go back to the offensive line coach. What does he do in the offensive line meeting when he says, hey, Tyler, and Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker, and Tyler Smith? Oh, yeah, you're going to have to be more specific than that. Tyler's on that offensive line. But he was described to me by the guys at Alabama as the Will Smith, or the Will Anderson of the offense. Just an unbelievable leader. Zach Martin goes out, he goes in. Someone with the high character, you see the size, he is a big man. I was asked, what would you tell
Tyler
the
Booker
teams
is
if
such
they
a good
asked you
dude.
about Tyler Booker? They said,
I hate seeing him go to Dallas, though.
after he gets picked. And they were to tell him, hey, they changed the schedule. We have a game tomorrow. We just emailed you the playbook. When the plane landed, he'd have the entire playbook memorized, and he'd be able to start the next day. I mean, they love this kid. Buchanan, Connecticut, IMG Academy. Academics are a big part of what he does. He's a cerebral player as well as a physical player. Joel, he talks about what he wants to do in a ball game is make a guy question whether he still wants to play football by the end of it. And the way he hits on people and does things. And DJ, when you're talking about all these Tylers on this offensive line, I'm going to tell you guys, this feels like a back to the future approach to Dallas. To get back to that time when they drafted Ezekiel Elliott number 4, Zach Martin moved in at guard, and they went away and just beat people up running the football. There's a big running back draft. There's time later in this draft to go get a runner for Dallas. I wouldn't be surprised if
That's available for next 5 picks.
Real quick, Joel, we were at the combine. He did not have a good workout, had a very poor 10 time. We actually put up a name on the screen and said, don't panic. This guy is Frederick. Had kind of a poor workout. And it worked out quite well for him, ironically, with the Dallas Cowboys. Well,
It's a mix between, like, if you're looking at linebackers, Walker and Campbell are real close. I still give the edge to Campbell.
I sat with his family.
Will Johnson and Janae Barrett. The two corners. They're right there. You got Harmon from Oregon. You got Walter Nolan from Ole Miss at D tackle. They're close.
I'm super excited.
Harrison's there too at corner.
Great tradition, a great offensive lineman, and I'm excited to follow suit with all that came before me.
I mean, Tyler Warren's dropping a little bit further than what everybody thought, so he's there at tight end.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get on the phone with Dak. Protection means make sure he goes clean every single game.
Yeah, Smart Stewart,
Congratulations.
Thank you so
edge
much.
rusher coming up.
Look at that million-watt smile coming to the Metroplex. So there's
Matthew
the
Golden's still there, wide receiver. He'd be your next best wide receiver.
Don't forget there is a Tyler, Texas. There is a Tyler, Texas. And a lot of Tylers on that offensive line. Here's Tyler Booker.
Yeah,
it's a lot of defense right now.
Is able to create movement. He is a
your next offensive tackle isn't even until 14.
From Alabama.
That's Simmons out of Ohio State, according to ESPN.
And then when you think about him as a helper, he's always looking for work. He's always looking to finish guys. I love his temperament, and you can't get through him. Dak's going to like the fact he's going to have a deep pocket because of how firm his anchor is.
4.5 minutes to go on the clock for the Miami Dolphins. Tyler Booker's lifted everybody up. He's moving people, even before he gets to Dallas.
What's up, Keith?
NFL Draft is presented by Verizon. The NFL, powered by Verizon.
I'm going to go for a minute. They're going on commercial break. I'm going to go for a minute. I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to let this run.
If you have small business,
I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to get something else to drink, too. And as Paul Burkholz would say, get some snacks.
Introducing the new My Biz plan
for right back.
Business. Choose exactly what you want. Pay only for what you need. When you're in control of your mobile plan, you can make every dollar count. Right now, get our best price as low as $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. My Biz plan, only from Verizon Business.
Right now, spring deals are under $20 at the Home Depot. So no matter what you're working on, you can save big on all your spring projects. Now through May 7th, shop spring deals of $20 at the Home Depot.
Homes.com. It's the best.
Cannot legally say Homes.com is the best. Well, how can we not say it? That's our name. Homes.com is the best.
Guacamole?
Is this for real?
It is for real, yes. Nothing is frozen. Everything is made fresh every day. If you see an open kitchen, you gotta trust it. It's as real as it gets.
What you see is what you get.
Exactly.
Being Courtyard's official ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now we get to hang out with NFL fans all season long. See you on game day.
Check out the new whip. I fully custom. Bud Light's going to fit.
Many Bud Lights in the state.
A lot of Bud Lights. Give me one of those. Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're also one of America's largest financial services companies. Like he's so much more than State Farm.
Also, State Farm. Oh, you made it. My stress. I never remember all this. Relax, bro. When things get intense, we get instance. What a nice and cleansing surprise.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Every year, Rich Eisen runs the 40 to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit stjude.org/runrichrun to donate. Then tune in to the 2025 NFL Draft on NFL Network to see Rich run.
It's a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit, it taught me to put my head down and just keep working. Draft night is going to mean the world to me.
Keep up with every pick on NFL.com with the Draft Tracker presented by Lexus. The Dolphins pick is in. The Colts are 2.5 minutes into their time on the clock for the 14th overall pick. Atlanta is next. Jalen Walker and Tyler Warren
2 of the top 6 picks on your board are sitting there. So is the top corner, not named Travis Hunter and Johnny Barron. There's Dion chatting it up with Shador Sanders in Texas right now, waiting to get that phone ringing right now. As, again, unless somebody trades in right now, the next team that's on the clock with a glaring need at quarterback is the Pittsburgh Steelers, 21st overall. What do you think the Dolphins are going to do here, Daniel?
Well, you're looking at defensive tackle, offensive tackle, safety. You've got your pick of the safeties. You've got some good DTs. The OTs have been wiped out. So those guys
make that pick?
I don't think it's an offensive tackle really worth this pick.
All right, here comes the commissioner with the Dolphins selection, 13th overall. Colts right behind them on the clock.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Colts are going to take Tyler
Miami
Warren if
Dolphins
he's still there.
select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Okay.
Fellas, I got to jump in because I've been hearing about this kid since he was a true freshman. Going up there and meeting with the Wolverine coaches when Jim Harbaugh and I would sit down.
Kenneth Grant
back to Mike McDonald,
is the
mentor, Wayne Martindale,
the kid that played right next to Mason Graham at Michigan.
The first thing that defense,
He's
the
bigger.
Baltimore defense wants to do is build the
He's a
run
bigger
ball. And that's
defensive
what they
tackle.
talked about. They wouldn't talk about Mason Graham. They would talk about Kenneth Grant as being the guy that could be the best in the future. And one of the reasons is this play that you're looking at right there. He chased down Nick Singleton. He's got this rare motor for a guy that's 330 pounds.
He's big.
He doesn't even understand how good he is yet. I think his best football is ahead of him. He's a block disruptor. He's a great locker room guy. And DJ, I think he could be one of the premier defensive tackles in the National Football League in the coming years.
And certainly Christian Wilkins walked to Vegas. This fills a need, wouldn't you say?
I'll tell you what, this is going to be fun, Rich. I mean, when you watch him and you think about Anthony Weaver as a defensive coordinator who played for the Baltimore Ravens with Haloti Ngata, he's got his Haloti Ngata, and that's one of the guys we would talk about him being similar to. Just a very athletic big guy. It's hard to find guys that weigh this much and that big that can run, as you see him hawk down the Penn State running back. As a rusher, there's not a lot of imagination. Just buckle up. He's going right through your chest. And when you have those edge rushers that they need to keep healthy in Miami, he's going to take away the escape hatch. He's going to be able to press the pocket and allow those guys time to win on the edges.
Rich is right. He obviously fills the need. But who's got the best offensive line in the AFC East, maybe in the AFC? Buffalo Bills. So if you're going to want to go toe-to-toe and chest-to-chest and battle, you got some people in there. As you mentioned, Rich Wilkins no longer there. Kenneth Grant, go in there and plant your feet and start battling those big guys from upstate New York.
And after leaving the campus at Michigan, he should recognize the name on his paycheck. Since Stephen Ross's name is on it. We're the same name? The same guy. Same guy.
Excuse me, sir.
Right.
Do you happen to know the Rosses in Michigan?
Indianapolis rush this one, so this is probably Tyler Warren.
Saying that to him?
He's probably heard the name. So the Indianapolis Colts, as you can see, have made a selection. The Falcons are a minute and change going in. And listen, we were putting Colston Loveland's name in a lot of mock drafts here.
We thought Tyler Warren was gone.
Tyler Warren's sitting there.
This feels almost like need, person, fit, go. This is what it feels like.
He's the best player.
He's a terrific player, and Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, they need this pass-catching tight end.
I believe it was the 18 where the line. I love it when a plan comes together. This is need. And
was that Hannibal or was that face?
With the 14th pick,
They take
the
Tyler Warren here.
2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
He wears Dallas.
Well, Dallas Clark let him wear the number?
Yeah, I know, right? Here comes Tyler Warren to Indianapolis, sir.
This is a fun
So you take Tyler Warren, you can get rid of that bevy of fucking.
Jump in here pretty early.
They have like,
because
what?
The way they use this guy, I mean, he was the offense. You put him back in the Wildcat. Here he's snapping the
They had
ball.
6 tight ends on that team.
On a trick play. Watch the catch.
Now they get their 7th, so somebody's got to go.
Turkey ball, guys. You can't do that to turkey ball.
Unbelievable. How about the one
Maybe
he
they
catch
had
on an
some,
underthrown
Mo
ball and then
Allen
absorb the contact? Here he is again.
Ryan
Watching what the
Woods got
ball
hurt
is.
last
He
year, so
he
he's
can
gone.
jump over the top of it.
He's
The
probably
quarterbacks are going to love him. And I'll tell you who else is going to love him in the running backs with what he does in the run game. He can latch you and drive.
Yep.
The reason he wears that 44 is because his dad told him about a guy named John Riggins. And this is how you're going to play the game, Joel, and that is the way he does it.
100%. And here's what I loved about him is that, well,
not bad.
Not to disparage their wide receiver core, but their wide receiver core was non-existent. And so the focal point of the pass defense was always on Warren, which means that they needed to be creative. And they were able to do that. And they snapped it to him, handed it to him, pitched it to him, screened it to him, sent it down the seam. In every different way you could possibly get the ball to 44, they were getting the ball to 44. And yet, he was always natural and comfortable in those situations, and that's rare. That's why he reminds me.
We got Atlanta, Arizona, Cincinnati.
He's also a high school quarterback as well. Look at those kids at the Tyler Warren draft party. And speaking of kids, this is him in the Little League World Series.
I'm going to need a birth certificate.
His birth certificate was laminated by his parents because everyone else was the Danny Almonte of this team.
See if Atlanta actually takes that edge rusher that they should have taken last year.
You guys know darn well when he showed up, his parents just pulled out a laminated one. We know you're going to ask. Here it is.
It's official.
Kurt Warner, take it away.
Yeah, I know we always want to label these guys. We talk about Travis Hunter. Is he a DB? Is he a wide receiver? Some of these guys are just what we call football players, and that's what I look at when I watch Tyler Warner play. He is just a football player. He's smooth. Whatever you ask him to do, he's got the ability to do that. A big guy, but the soft hands, his ability to run after the catch. I think this is a home run for the Indianapolis Colts. So we go to break. A lot of Big Ten players here in Wisconsin that we've seen tonight. So I wonder what some of these guys have in common. 3 of the first 13 picks from one school. I don't know. Maybe ever you could connect the dots during the break.
Roundup. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the without killing your lawn. This stuff works organic. This close. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back.
Now we just take a look at Atlanta here.
This stuff works.
The future is here. We've been creating it for more than 100 years.
Atlanta needs
putting
a
the most
rusher.
advanced technology into people's hands.
That offense. They need a center. Yeah, so they're not taking that.
Again,
Could use another wide receiver to go with London and Mooney.
most reliable network of authorized sales and service dealers. Always moving forward. Others follow.
D-tackle, linebacker, corner, and safety.
Congratulations. Here's the water heater that somehow passed inspection.
They get an interior linebacker.
Congratulations.
Got Campbell and Walker.
Nitrogen fertilizer. Remember, not too little or too much, or you're going to kill your lawn.
Corner, could see a Will Johnson or a Barron. One of the two. And you got Harmon and Nolan.
I skipped the line.
Lowe's knows. Spring.
Edge rusher, I don't see Pierce standing up or Mike Green.
You'll have your home feeling grown. Lowe's knows how to help you spring.
Quite possible. Johnson, Barron, or Hairston. Yeah. Indianapolis taking Tyler Warren. Like I said, geez, take all the fucking people out of there.
And really
take them. You could take the other 6 fucking guys and just drop them right now, and just have Tyler Warren in there. But I'm sure that Ogletree's probably going to be there. I could see Mo Alley Cox getting cut. They're going to want Mallory there. Because Warren can play close to the line.
Man, first I saw his hand, bro. He brings the party.
I mean, it was just that one was going to be the obvious choice. Because one of the 2 tight ends fell there, that's who they were going to take. Now, let's see. Let's kind of get ahead of ourselves a little bit since we're on a break anyways. Arizona.
All right, kicking it on the green room built by Lowe.
Arizona will be following. So on offense, guard, wide receiver. So you want to get a third guy to go, or legit two, go with Harrison and Michael Wilson.
I got to tell you, I mean, how many times
on defense, they're looking at D tackle, linebacker, corner, and safety. So it's quite possible that Atlanta's going to take that corner to get ahead of fucking Arizona. Very possible. Then we got Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a little bit of everything. They can use a guard, tackle, backup running back. Defense is where they need to really focus. So they need a D tackle, linebacker, corner, and safety. So you have three teams that need secondary help, linebacker help, and middle. So it's whatever they're going to prioritize here to jump ahead of these next two teams. Because then you got another team in Seattle at 18 that can probably use just about anything. They don't really need to. They could probably use the corner. Walker, probably.
So last year was just a stunner, right? Of the first round.
I think I predicted what they were going to go after in here. Now I wish. Wish I had like 5 fucking screens to look at.
We're still waiting on a breakout Kyle big season. It looks like they're going to go defense.
And remember, they started over on defense. Jimmy Lake was the defensive coordinator last year. They made a change, brought in Jeff Olsen from the Jets, who had worked under Robert Saleh. What do they like to have? Pass rushers.
Yeah, they could take Walker.
Pass rushers staring at us. We just did it with Tyler Warren, meeting the needs with Indianapolis. Can we do it again?
They could take Walker and they could fit him into the two middle linebacker positions. Could move him over to outside too. He is talented enough to do that.
You don't have to outguess yourself. It's right there.
If they want a speed guy, it's going to be Pierce out of Tennessee. You can put him at outside linebacker. I don't think they get Harmon though. I don't know if they take Harmon. They could take a Nolan though.
Still haven't gotten another quarterback.
If they take a Nolan, they could put him next to Dalvin Tomlinson and Calais Campbell right in there. They'd have a pretty decent defensive line. Seattle going wide receiver.
They got great players in positions that make them leaders at each side of the ball.
Maybe. You want to see what Seattle's doing since we're going to get ahead of ourselves right now?
Those guys were being captains right out of the gate. Like, I go back to last year. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Target's picks coming up.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
There you go.
I mean, look, the rest of my mock draft, I'm going to probably
Jalen Walker, defensive end.
So, I mean, I thought there was a chance he could drift a little bit.
Plays both.
Fell right to the Atlanta Falcons. What a dream
The
scenario.
linebacker, thank you.
Last two picks. Tyler Warren to the Colts, Jalen Walker here to the Atlanta Falcons. This is so much of a reminding me a little of Dante Hightower. He could play off the ball, he could play on the ball. He was disruptive no matter where Kirby Smart decided.
So Seattle,
for a guy who's only
we get down there, they're going to take guard or wide receiver on offense.
Against those big 6'5", 300-pound tackles. You want to rush him off the edge, he can win. He's got legit when he's healthy.
Defense, it's right up the middle. D tackle, linebacker, corner, and safety.
You see him, you want to spy him against Arch Manning,
Same.
he can really run, he sucks him up like a Hoover vacuum.
So
a big-time fit, big-time player.
And another front seven player from Georgia drafted in the first round, and our longtime friend Mike Mayock used to sit on this set with us.
it is quite possible to go along with Cooper Kupp and JSN.
He had a higher grade on Jalen Walker than an
Could go Golden and Buka.
Of excitement in that room for a guy that featured the interest right there in their own corner.
And we have another guy who's still on the board, John Campbell out of Alabama. It's very similar to what we're talking about with Jalen Walker, who they're off the ball linebackers who move to the edge.
Golden or Egbuka.
Dante Hightower, who
That's who would go. That's who would go there.
with a rush and knocked it free for
I don't think Higgins had two.
the New England Patriots.
Nah.
You have that type of a player. But
you're doing, man, they're all excited about their fifth. Why you bring it up to the Super Bowl?
But it doesn't matter. This is the guy that's on the
Of course, it would be real Seattle to go either Burden or Beck. I don't know if they do it this high though. That's the other thing.
No, you went there. I'm just saying this is a positive for them. I'm just telling you, for the Falcons, no more worried about Nick Beasley. No more worried about John Abraham. Jalen Walker comes in, and maybe he's their new guy.
Yeah, Jalen Walker makes sense. Like I said, you can keep him inside. You can keep it an inside linebacker, or you can put him on the outside. So.
So picks technically not yet, but it looks like they were delivering to the Arizona Cardinals.
They did a nice job in free agency on the defensive side, in particular up front. I'm looking at that. I think they need offensive line, but I don't love my offensive line selections right now. I think wide receiver is interesting, and you've got Golden sitting there, you've got Luka, and I think teams are again, there's not a consensus about who's better.
They said that shit like 5 minutes ago.
Pretty good, right? I think they're good as a tandem, and a team that likes to run the football. Is there a better pocket receiver than Luka? Right? This is something that he does. You put him in those condensed sets, and he will go down there and dig out safety.
I take Golden. I take Golden in Green Bay.
He's got that sub-4 receiver.
I like Golden.
Speed, and then Golden's
Look at that scene here in Green Bay.
Even when I was talking to him, he was just like, well, each receiver is different. But the reason why I brought up Xavier Worthy's name is because Golden is a better version of Xavier Worthy. He's cleaner hands, ran better routes. And how he said, he increased his speed and stuff. He's a rev up guy. It's very smooth. Very smooth. If he fucking goes here in Arizona, though, I'm gonna be pissed.
This first round, and we'll Fisher to bring out the pick. What do you think the story is? It's the trade at the top. Jack, my gosh, that's the story.
Tony Khan off the top rope. I mean, nice. Don't neck brace this time. Don't neck brace this time.
Check out Jack. What's up, Tony? Congrats again to the Jaguars for making that.
Joe, you gonna come back for the stream tomorrow?
Shedeur Sanders. No Shedeur Sanders so far, and this is
6 o'clock start time tomorrow. We'll do 2 more rounds of this shit.
Is that not only is it going to fall to 21 in Pittsburgh, but there's no backstop after 21 unless
I'm gonna put a podcast together tomorrow with Paul. Do that from the hotel.
Cleveland just got another second round selection. And you have 2 of the first 4 picks tomorrow night.
And New Orleans is another team. Still, that they move back here.
And I just think if Cleveland and the Giants both like the same quarterback, it'll be fascinating to eat chicken to see who decides to make the move.
Well, as for the Arizona Cardinals,
How's your pressers going?
They're actually really tame this year.
What?
Really tame.
Really?
There's a couple times Abdul Carter was like, I guess last like it's not people jumping in. It's really light in there, so there's not a lot of people jumping in on things. So it's pretty easy to get a question asked.
Nice.
Walter Nolan. Defensive tackle.
There we go. Walter Nolan. D-tackle. That's what I thought.
They were active in free agency, but they just brought in Calais Campbell to see what they can get out of him at the end here. Dalvin Tomlinson.
He put on that little hat. Look at that. It's a good pick.
Came from and his first came in Philadelphia.
Good pick right in the middle.
The trenches here, big time.
Okay, so we got a linebacker that got taken. We got a D tackle that's been taken. We haven't had that corner taken yet.
He's got big time twitch and burst when you see him get off the ball.
Now that's going to be the problem for the Bengals. They really could use the D tackle, but it depends on who's there. Now, 3 of your top 5 picks right now are the corners, so Johnson, Barron, and Hairston. You got a D tackle, Derek Harmon. Okay. Let me look up Harmon while I'm here. If anybody wants to know how thick that draft guy got, that's the draft guy this year. See, I save you the paper shit.
World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your quality. Now, it's time for you to put us to the test. Whatever you do, do it for less than our.
So this is Harmon. He's a half-second slow out of his stance, but makes up for it with his quickness once he gets going. Very productive at Oregon, where he can hold the line or push past his blocker to get at the ball carrier. He should be productive in the NFL, but I don't see him as a Pro Bowler.
Check out the
So, mid-range guy. We don't want Herman. Nolan was the guy. We could use Campbell at linebacker. Mike Green from Marshall. He's boomer bust guy. Got Shamar Stewart there too. They definitely don't need the wide receiver now. Can't afford to have another good wide receiver in Cincinnati. So I think since he takes none of the guard or tackles are worth it.
University of Maryland Global Campus isn't just an innovative
I didn't need that D tackle so bad.
one that values the successes you've already achieved. That's why at UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning in life and job experience. Why we offer scholarships in
They need that corner.
and why we have online classes.
They won't take corner.
You need from your first day to graduation day and beyond.
Wine? You got free wine?
Since the pandemic, the number of people reaching out to online community hubs every day.
Well, why don't you brag about it?
Our applicants are available 24/7.
I'd brag about it too.
To local resources such as shelter.
I'm streaming, but you can, yeah, you show
Hotline
pictures.
wants you to know what you feel is valid. Abuse in any form is never okay, and we're here for you 24 hours a day.
You got up on the stage there, over there.
Basically on the stage. I wasn't on the stage.
Were you able to get through that tented walkway area? I thought so. I believe she's in there, yes. You never know unless you bring it there. Derek Harmon and I mean Harmon's the only guy, but I want to say Bengals take this
Seattle. My understanding is the Seahawks are interested in getting out of this pick, certainly open to trading back. The Steelers,
Seattle wants to trade back, huh?
very positive visit. They are right there. So this could be the window for some teams, maybe the Giants, maybe a quarterback needed to.
Bengals, I bet you they take Pierce. They're going to look at Pierce or they're going to look at Mike Green. Pierce, Mike Green, or Campbell. They're not going to take the corner. And I don't think they take Harmon either. Because they're smart, they don't take Harmon.
I don't wake up. Who knows which quarterback they prefer? But I knew Seattle, John Schneider, he loves those day two picks. And with a lot of their needs, they marry up well on day two. So he already has 2 2s and 2 3s. He can add to that stockpile if he wants to go all the way out for a team like the Giants coming up. I just thought that could make a lot of sense for both parties. I think that there's a lot of starters on day 2 as well. Good luck. Starters in this draft tomorrow and in round 2 and in round 3. So stockpiling in those rounds is not a bad
Hunter said he hasn't even talked to Jacksonville. Has no idea what his role is going to be. They haven't told him anything. I was like, I asked him, I was like, did Cohen and Loveland give you any assurances as to what your role was going to be? Or have you been able to talk with them about, like, making sure your personal dreams of being a two-way player can come true? He's like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't talk to him at all, except fairly at my pro day a little bit. It's like, I have no idea. Yeah. I was like,
the fuck?
That's pretty big, like what? Like, they traded up to get you, and you don't know what they want you to do? Yeah. I thought that was interesting, too.
So he was just as mesmerized by it. He was just like,
I was glad I asked the question.
oh, Shamar Stewart. Okay, there we go. Still an edge rusher.
Defense here. This defense last year, not good. Tied for 25th in points per game, tied for 25th in sacks. You think about Al Golden coming in to try and fix this defense. They had 5 games last year, City, where they scored over 30 points and lost. The offense is in great shape. They took care of re-signing those guys. We'll see what happens.
All right, so Seattle, we talked, could quite possibly take a wide receiver.
Or a playing partner here with Shamar Stewart off the edge.
Those are punters are usually day 2 guys. So it'd be 3rd round, somewhere in there. I mean, just ask the Bears. They might take another one this year. All right, so Seattle we already talked about. We have Tampa coming up.
But the thing I love about those transfers
so Seattle wants to trade out of this pick, so we're gonna have to keep our heads on a swivel on that.
I think he got up to about 280 last year.
All right.
I liked him better in the 265 range, and he did that during the draft run-up process. And let's face it, with Cincinnati, with Burrow in that offense,
Tampa Bay.
You don't have to be a top 10 defense to make noise. You just need to be average again. And by the way, that's when they were going to conference title games, going to Super Bowl. They weren't a dominant defense. They were good. And they can get
Tampa. Tampa needs a guard. They could go after another running back, but not until later. Back at quarterback. Let's see. So defense, we're looking at.
That didn't have a lot of college production, not only get selected high, but then produce in the NFL. Norway is a great example. It's a great example.
Linebacker they need to get in. Corner is going to go here. All right, corner is going to go in Tampa if they stay there. Because you don't want Zion McCallum there or Tyke Smith.
Stewart is the 3rd Texas A&M defender to be drafted in the 1st round this century. The other 2 are named Von Miller and Miles Garrett.
Ironically, the guy picked right before Walter Nolan was his teammate before he transferred from Texas A&M to Ole Miss.
Well, there you go. So,
and then Denver,
Cincinnati, which as you pointed out,
going to have, they can take Hampton. If Hampton falls into their lap for Denver, just they're going to be running up there. They're going to be running up there to go get Hampton.
They just need to get themselves back to average.
They need
back to average. That's 3-4 more.
running back. They could use a wide receiver, but Sean Payton's usually been pretty good with the wide receivers that he's got. Backup quarterback.
Developing these young guys is going to be a key part.
D-tackle, linebacker,
Corner,
corner,
trade out, but they did
D-end or linebacker.
We're going to get their pick in short order.
So you need a little bit of everything. But it's got to be Hampton.
Laser focused in this moment. Is this the kind of intensity you're bringing to
The Hampton spot is coming.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Really? What's making you upset about the moment that you have right now?
Nothing. I'm happy. I'm excited. It's not coming.
You are in the division now with Lamar Jackson. How's that going to feel when you get chased out a quarterback like that?
Hey, man, it's an honor, man. You know, South Florida versus South Florida. He's one of the best. Why would I not want to say one of the best?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, it's that, you know, again, on my show, we say somebody goes higher register when they don't really believe what they're saying.
Yeah, Paul and I were talking about Stewart, that same exact thing. About him being similar to Rashawn Gary, where he's talented, he's got everything, but he hadn't been productive. But
like he is standing strong and firm, and he's giving back as good as it's coming in. Happy for the commission. Good year. Good.
Golden is still out there. This could be a golden spot with.
And here is the commissioner coming right back.
With Seattle, we're going to see right now. I hope not.
With the 18th pick,
You want a corner too.
2025 NFL
Will
Draft,
Johnson.
the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel,
Whoa.
North Dakota State.
There's your guy.
Yeah, this is my favorite player in the draft,
Oof.
and there's some reasons why on the screen. 5-position flex. He's played tackle. He proved in the
Zabel.
Senior Bowl where he dominated that he could kick inside.
A little bit earlier than I thought he was.
Center. Grant, think about how
Yeah.
transition.
It's almost like
But he
weird,
got
like,
to the next level with the Tampa Bay
He's
Bucks.
good, he's probably not great, but it's good enough.
At left tackle, you can see his movement and his commitment to finishing.
You're Faith's new friend. I saw that post.
I am indeed. Nice to meet you. I'm Taylor.
I'm Dustin. Nice to meet you. I
I
saw your post.
I told you.
I said you're Faith's new friend.
I was very annoyed.
I never even knew what her name was. I just knew her as Faith's new friend.
Yeah.
And I just know you weren't coming back. Right
Here, I'm Dennis. Have a stick.
A sticker? I'm honored. To give some to everybody.
The big thing for them, can they keep those?
I'm a sticker slut.
They keep Ross and Lucas healthy, shore up the interior. They've got a chance to make some moves.
So congratulations to Gray Zabel. Sponsor on the clock. Then the
Here, you can have the gray one.
There's that 21st overall pick. What is the
That's the traditionals. Full out horror. If you want the cursing one.
I'm going to take it from you. I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to take it from you so I remember you.
Sure.
So I'm going to remember
Everybody else does.
Follow me on Instagram. This is how it goes.
Is that where you do your business on IG?
Unless you want gymnastics or political content on Twitter.
Those are the only two things I post on Twitter, so don't follow me there.
What, gymnastics and
And political activism.
on Twitter?
On Twitter. It's not a professional look. Like, I keep that one on the DL for the most part.
Yeah. So on the gram. Okay.
On the gram for the most part.
Okay.
I'm unfortunately still on Facebook like a millennial because everybody in West Virginia still hasn't migrated anywhere else yet.
I'm surprised that Facebook hasn't fucking kicked me off.
One of the guys was like,
Sometimes I wonder.
what did he say? Are you on Blue Sky?
Yeah.
No.
No, nobody's on.
Even though Twitch the same thing with like
Zabel I like. Zabel is just, that was a little bit of a reach. But that's why they wanted to get out of the pick too, because they didn't want to have to make it. Because they knew they could get Zabel later in the first. But it didn't happen. It is what it is.
Got to ask Will Campbell about seafood.
Nice.
I'm just saying.
Get me some nachos. I don't think there are any nachos. They don't do. They have no fucking snacks here this year. You are not missing out at all. All I'm getting is free drinks, and it's not even alcoholic.
This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crap, this stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed.
Bow, 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 bow.
This stuff works.
But with Seattle taking, the five position offensive lineman in Grace Zabel, that leaves Golden as a possibility coming down. May still have to trade up to get him though, because Chargers are right there, right in front of him at 22. Why is it always the fucking Chargers? Pittsburgh Steelers right in front of them. But Chargers are really right now the only team that they'd have to worry about taking Golden. Tampa Bay's not going to do it. They're stacked. Denver's not going to do it. They're going to take Hampton. Pittsburgh's a wild card because we don't know if they're going to, they've been linked to the Sanders and they've been linked to Jackson Dart. But at this point, you could probably trade down and still get Dart.
The 19th overall pick, Tampa has made the selection. Denver is 2 minutes into their pick. They're all congratulating themselves and excited about who. We will find that out in a second. Then Denver has 7 and change left, and then there is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But I mean, there's always talk too with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking, offensive linemen. They always need another one. But they were a running back team too. So if Denver doesn't take a running back, Pittsburgh might be.
The wait will soon be over for him and Pops. And his dad just tweeted out.
Where's Paul? He's at the bar.
Oh, Dion Jr., pardon me. The rejected will be respected. Hey, listen.
Non-alcoholic drinks. I don't drink that much anymore anyway, so it's not a big deal.
We assume drop to at least the 20th overall.
I had 3 beers yesterday, and that was enough.
Will not choose him, and it does look like he will be available.
Woke up without a hangover, though. That was great.
As they say, on the bracket in terms of that. Just ask Lamar Jackson how he's enjoying being the 32nd.
See, look at Paul. Look at Paul being a good friend.
How did he enjoy being the 24th overall pick? Eventually, if he
Well, just think about the fact that Brock Purdy's getting ready to get over $50 million. It is not about when you go, it is about where you go. So to me, who's Coach Sanders' family, you're hoping that he lands in the right place, not at the right time.
The reigning MVP of the Super Bowl is a second-round selection.
Yep.
Right. So these things happen, but obviously they had better ideas in mind in terms of how soon they're not going to be over. As for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what do you think should be?
I might as well walk around this whole fucking. When I leave, I might as well walk around the whole goddamn draft. We ain't ever getting out of here on time.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka.
Egbuka. You kidding me?
And it's Emeka Egbuka going to Tampa.
Yeah, Jason White's been there for a long time. His first pick as general manager in Tampa was Mike Evans. This is the next wide receiver that he's taken in the first round. It's been a minute. Big time tracking, big time hands. He is ultra instinctive and tough. You see him here with the ball in his hands.
I like him, but
they
damn.
Around so many great players at Ohio State. He's not afraid to do the dirty work. He's not selfish. You see him as a lead blocker. Just look at how
we're not going to talk about work. This is a work free. I know everything because I had like 15 people fucking text me yesterday. Trust me.
Right here, Lambeau, Wilson, Smith and Jigba, Harrison Jr., Abuka. You know why it was important for Abuka to go back for his senior year?
All right, let's see.
Maybe right the wrongs and potentially win a national championship.
I'm going to give you Abuka.
To have the lineage down to
6'1", 202.
We all think is still going to be at Ohio State for a couple of years. It might be the best of them all, coming out in a couple of years. And that was important. You know why? The brotherhood. That's what they call their position room. And no one personifies the brotherhood better than Emeka Abuka. He's a man of strong faith and strong character that runs clean routes, great hands, and he is a team leader. He's my favorite guy that I covered this year in college football. He will succeed. What Ohio State receiver has not succeeded?
They want the guy that's going to succeed Mike Evans. Because he's 2 to 3 inches taller than Golden. Golden to me though is the better wide receiver. Aguka was right behind him though, so it's not like a big stretch.
Evans getting up there in his years. Here's Jalen McMillan, who came in last year. They were so high-powered on offense. Just because their coach went to Jacksonville, Liam Cohen, they don't want to get off the game.
He is. It sucks though because that's going to fuck McMillan over for the time being. But I would not. If you had dynasty shares of Jalen McMillan, I wouldn't get rid of him.
Have to make their selection, and then it is time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will they take Shedeur Sanders or who else?
I mean, you essentially have 2 wide receivers that are going to be getting out of here sooner rather than later. So I mean, you'll have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin's not going to last there too much longer. Aguka would take over the McMillan role, but there's nobody else behind him, right? So Sterling Shepard, old. Trey Palmer never came to be. Raheem Jarrett and Cameron Johnson was the guy that was a big fucking bust. Ryan Miller, Marquez Callaway was the New Orleans cast-off. And then Dennis Houston. I mean, you don't start a wide receiver with the name of Dennis, trust me. Tanner Canoe. Tanner New. K-N-U-E. The K is silent.
Check out the new whip. I fully custom. Bud Light's been good. Many Bud Lights in the States. A lot of Bud Lights. Give me one of those.
Yeah, they'll fit McMillan in somewhere, but just for right now. Kind of sucks.
It's 9914 for the men's room. Sorry, what? There's a pretty nice bathroom in there, just in case you need it.
So the corners are dropping. Right now, the Packers going to get one of the top 2 corners. They weren't a Harmon guy. They wanted Nolan. I'm talking Packers here. Pierce or Green would be interesting. You could put Campbell in that linebacker too. I mean, let's just be fair. Come on, kid.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus for more for the fans, the players, all in one place, all year long.
Did he come yet?
I mean, you get a Will Johnson in there. Will Johnson would probably be the guy be the best fit in there. Fucking tall, 6'2". 194.
Welcome back to Green Bay. We're about to hear the Denver Broncos first.
Barron's shorter at 5'11". He's okay, but we were talking. Me and Paul were talking. He's a little shaky. Hairston started kind of getting bumped up a little bit. Skinny kid, 5'11", 183, but he's a good dude. But I mean, if they're gonna go corner, they're gonna go. You'd want him to go Will Johnson because he's the one most likely to become that island corner.
All eyes are now on the Pittsburgh Steelers with Shedeur Sanders still out there. We know he had a good visit. We know he's now available. We do not know if the Steelers.
Denver should be running back.
My understanding is, as of yesterday, they were going back and forth. Is the value worth it? Split in the room. We will see what decision they make.
Split in the room. Well, the room is about to get the 20th overall selection. The Steelers are 90 ticks in now into their clock time for the 21st overall pick. Again, they don't have a second round selection. That went to Seattle for DK Metcalf. They're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. But in the meantime, here comes the commissioner with a special guest to announce the Broncos selection.
It's more towards the Detroit crowd. Vegas. Now see, when you look at the TVs and you see it online, it's tight, right? Because it's from the Expo back over towards Lambeau, so it's kind of confined on Lombardi on that one side because they put it right there. So it kind of immediately you would kind of think Vegas, but it's really more towards Detroit.
Join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
Awesome.
Hope that kid doesn't die on screen.
All right. With the 20th pick and the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Janae Barron, DB, Texas.
So the 10th player on your
Janae Barron, corner. Damn.
Yeah, he's my highest rated player there. My top corner, the first corner to come off the board here. Remind me of Cooper DeSheen, someone who is going to be outstanding playing in the slot. Big time ball skills for Texas. He can find, locate, and go get the football down the field. Here he is showing you his ability to trust his eyes, see it, plant, and drive on the ball. Again, in the slot. He can cover tight ends, you can cover slot receivers, and then if you want to be a force player, which you have to be at that position in the NFL, this guy simply doesn't miss tackles. He is very tough and reliable. There he is against Ibuka, who we saw just go off the board. They decided instead of offense, they were going to double down on a defense that is outstanding.
If you were going to go corner, I would have taken Johnson. I would have put him on the other side.
Big time player, in my opinion, the best corner in the draft is going to plug in as the nickel.
That Texas secondary was not great 2 years ago when they faced Michael Penix in the national semifinal. Penix ate him up, if you remember. He was elusive and ate up that secondary. And Johnny Barron came back. They got Andrew Mabuba from Clemson, and guys, they were transformed in a lot of ways because of Barron. Barron in that secondary did as good a job of anybody against Jeremiah Smith in Ohio State. And now, with this game,
Why don't you just say hi?
Very good defense. Most of the season, they just got
This
better.
is Kelly.
And DJ, you're alluding to him possibly.
Women of fantasy football.
Yes.
Yes.
If he goes into the nickel, Jaquan McMillan played well for them. This is where.
Were you outside?
You're going to get much.
Or were you over in the press box?
No, I wasn't there.
You got to do the press conferences?
Yeah, we got some questions in.
And the Los Angeles Chargers are going to run it. Janae Barron can handle
Dreading
both.
walking back outside again.
Paul is apparently over here at a bar outside of the draft.
Okay.
So, yeah, he couldn't get back in. He was in in Lambeau. He was in the lower bowl, but it's like
They closed the entrance.
yeah.
They said at capacity,
This is moments ago, we're told. So if it
So they
doesn't
put
happen
like
here,
people
the
in.
only question is when does it
So
happen
they
tonight?
they know
240,000 people.
And if it's not Shador,
240,
who could
about
it be? I know
240,
they-
something like that. So quarter of a million.
Yeah.
Quarter of a million shut this place down. Come on.
But they said
I want to say it was over 3, I think, in Detroit before they shut it.
And you could see again,
so I thought it looked to me bigger than Detroit, but if it was over 3, then it's not. I'm pretty sure they said 240.
I'd have to find out how much it was, but I know it was huge. It was huge on day one in Detroit. This looks like it is. I was like what I was saying in here, because they asked if it was like Vegas or if it was more like Detroit.
Yeah, more like Detroit.
It's more, and I agree. I think it's more like Detroit, but the reason why it looks as packed as what it is just the design and the compactness of where we're at.
Because people are even like all up on the stairs and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Paul couldn't get back in.
Oh, I know. I was sitting here.
But they closed.
Haley and I got back in.
They closed the entrance.
Oh, yeah. Once you got, even once you got into Lambeau.
With the 21st pick, the 2025
Oh, here we go, Pittsburgh. Here we go, Pittsburgh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Herman.
and the reaction from the crowd.
That was the same one that was in here.
What were we predicting?
Yeah, Paul's out. Paul's locked out. He's got buddies. He's got buddies from school though, so he's all right. He's getting his drink on.
You see his quickness. He was at Michigan State, transferred to
Here we go. Here.
He wanted to play because they would let him get up the field and attack. And that's what he did for Oregon all year long. He was just
There it is.
low to block, disruptive against the run as well as against the pass.
It just settled down, but now the surrounding area is crazy because all the people that couldn't get
Yeah,
in.
a lot of people left.
Now they're at the bars.
Yeah. Well, and then a lot of people who were in were leaving.
To the program, the guy all the way on the left, Cam Hayward. So they went there.
And I asked, I got them.
Quarterback. And does not appear they will have the draft capital in this year's draft.
Hey, we don't use the P word in here.
Maybe they will.
We don't use piss. All right. We don't say that. Sissy or Tinkle.
With the Chargers and the hometown Packers after that. Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. Plus, America's largest financial services company. Like you, so much more to say forward.
Hold on. Hold on 1 minute. So, I wonder if Denver.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is partners.
Explore Hampton Hotel through the app and unlock more dream days.
Oh.
What were you expecting?
I wonder if the Chargers would think about taking Hampton here and pairing him with Najee Harris.
Why do you think everybody was like surprised about the Steelers?
Guaranteed or your money back. This is roundup.
I think they were more expecting.
Shador Sanders.
It could have been Shador Sanders, but now everybody's going to be on the whole Aaron Rodgers kick with that. Because they're going to be like, oh, maybe they have a thing with Aaron. No, doesn't necessarily mean any of that. But I want to look at Pittsburgh here. Steelers need that guard.
It's always football season. Pro Football Hall of Fame. In the spring, we're going to go part of off-the-field stories and our limited time.
Steelers needed that guard. They also need that running back. Could have used. I know they've got Slade, but they could have taken that corner right here. Slade's getting older, so.
And you're visiting Pro Football Hall of Fame today.
Pro.
Do you want to look at that one? It's all the players in the draft. Ultimate nerd.
I wanted Michael Williams for the Cardinals, but he didn't fall to us. But I'm okay with doing that.
There were so many needs. There were so many needs, though.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that guy's not even here.
But every time you drive after drinking,
Chargers are not going punter.
music gets drowned out.
No Sanders. That's why you don't listen to media. Sanders is overhyped.
I don't think people called Sanders to. I don't think the media pushed him anyway much way.
No, I don't think so either.
Seahawks for Sanders, they didn't choose him. Pittsburgh, I don't think he was overhyped for any team in particular. Is he overhyped in general? Maybe, but not to where he's falling now.
That is the biggest tailgate in the history of Wisconsin.
What the hell is going on out there? For a seal here. And what the hell is going on with that? I mean, there's the camp. Is that the Chargers camp? I don't know. But Charger faithful getting ready to hear all
camp.
that. And the inner circle in Greenville, okay, hosting LA Fire Department first responders.
Right there.
For that.
Huh?
Right there.
What about it?
If it's straight up first round without anybody trading up, the Rams would be about the last team that would probably take Sanders at this point. Like I said, unless somebody trades up.
All right, Kelly. It's 9:30. We've been out there for 2.5 hours. We are at 6:22. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I had to take a Travion Henderson in the mock draft, even though they brought in
Oh, you mean the Falcon pick?
Thunder Lightning.
I just meant in general, but yeah.
But you look at some of these other guys that are available. Matthew Golden, some real speed on the outside. But the other one I'm staring at, I think that Jesse and company are familiar with
Chargers could trade out.
Yeah. We're out here making a trend. Kelly's drinking coffee. I would be, but bougie, they ran out of creamer.
There's non-dairy creamer packets in there.
This is where we've gotten to. This is where we've gotten to. Coffee discussions at 9:30. It's been a long day, and it's not over yet. So we got some more picks, guys. We got it.
Technically, it's on a 30-second delay.
You guys mentioned there were injury concerns throughout this process, but I understand
Fucking what the fuck?
concerns about his longevity. That is why he is called not as much the speed thing, more the
I don't even know anymore.
about his knee.
Well, coming off of the national.
Girls are getting crazy.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
up there. Well, I mean, to me, the speed was going to be the question. So the speed-wise, you know, I got two. Okay, maybe he's not a fit for us. The Chargers, when it came to man percentage last year,
Chargers are taking their sweet time with this, which means that they were trying to trade out of it.
Drive and make plays on the football, which is incredible.
Well, you call their games on the radio.
Yeah.
What'd you ask? What do you think?
I was in that stadium in Houston.
Travis
Oh, no. I got two with Jenty, like, I got to ask him what he has to say.
You're going to see a defense like the Texans who can kind of lock you up. They need more than Latin McConkey. So that's speed coming away with a tight end. That's speed coming away.
There's only like 12.
12 what?
Josh Palmer, big target.
Here.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I thought there was 15 here.
Maybe there's 15. but
So
it's
the
a small
speed
number.
makes sense.
Yeah.
DJ is talking about right there. But it's not just that Joel's mentioned it. You know, they know Will Johnson, they know people. But it's not just Michigan guys. It's all the people that they've coached on the staff, guys who know players. They don't mind bringing in those guys.
Well, Chargers have taken this down to the final seconds, and that didn't look like a phone call, a celebratory phone call with whoever they just selected. So,
Bow, bow.
I don't know. The Chargers are still.
Is it really 9:30 already?
No, everything is, so we're gonna, and that's why the fans just reacted to that. I mean, Matthew Golden is still in that.
He's the fastest wide receiver. I mean, that 40 was incredible.
My three top offensive players still, guys. You've got Omarion Hampton, the running back. You've got Matthew Golden, the wide receiver. And then you look at the tight end is Mason Taylor from LSU.
So he could go Jason Taylor's son. He can go also defensively if he does.
No, you're not taking Mason Taylor, tight end.
And Will Johnson.
The fuck out of here.
As well. Both on your draft board still sit back there.
Yeah, and he's an off-the-ball linebacker. Some believe he can rush off of the
Could be
edge.
good. They do need a wide receiver.
Off-the-ball linebackers that they really like there. So that one, he's a great player. I love him. I just don't know for them exactly how he would fit their value.
And similar to Will Johnson, there was a few flags thrown up about the injury situation. There's a knee situation with Campbell, some shoulder situations there. So I think that's why he's falling to this point. But this Chargers pick is, to me, it's fascinating because of all the areas they could go. We've seen this a couple of times. Colts, they had a pick of the litter. Falcons, pick of the litter where they needed.
Sanders was actually the safe
With all those
quarterback.
needs, all those options.
More on
Does
it
it not come
already.
back to who do we like best on our board? Does it not come down to best player available, Joe Ortiz?
That's over
That's
Ward.
what feels like. That's how Joe was treating ball. That's what it feels like here. You
Look,
got
Cam
all the
Ward's
places
got
to
the
go.
extreme
Who do we
upside.
have top of our board? That's who they go get.
Here comes the commissioner with the
But he's got a decent floor.
10 more picks tonight. Meaning the only 10 more draft picks with a 5th-year contractual control that goes along with it. Something to keep in mind with only one quarterback off the draft board prior to this pick.
With the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton.
There we go.
running back,
Thought so.
North Carolina.
Pair him with Harris.
Yeah, he was my top available offensive player left, Omarion Hampton. Look, you remind me of Jonathan Taylor. You see this big back get out in the open field, and he can absolutely go. You see the
So now the Golden's there
big physical punch
for Green Bay.
to sacrifice with that. You'll get somebody
Let's see who they're going to take instead.
likes the home run speed. He's got some wiggle to go along with all that strength and power.
Actually, they could get Johnson or Harrison. Corner.
In the past game, they've got two
Wouldn't be
guys
bad.
that Najee Harris that can catch the ball. He's just got a lot more top speed than Najee Harris does. But Jim Harbaugh's always going to want to pound the rock guys, and now he's got a stable of backs, and they are big, punishing runners. And Joel, you know very, very well. You know Harbaugh, what he likes to do. That line has been built up all last year. Makai Becton in free agency this year. Now you have this run. It is
Simmons would be a reach at the offensive tackle.
And Stanford and Michigan. And it's going to be the same blueprint, guys. And, you know, and listen, this is a back that is versatile. He's a workhorse.
Could be Johnson, Harrison, corner. Pierce or Green on the outside. Campbell on the inside at linebacker.
Who's the number one pick?
Golden.
You know the number one pick was? Who is it? One George Badner's Capital, University of Tennessee, selected by the Chicago Cardinals. And by the way, George Capito was on the staff at Tennessee when I played.
The reason why I mentioned all this was not for you to cake for Tennessee, although I know
You know, we got to get them if we can.
Understood. It's because it was the last time there was a draft in the state of Wisconsin. We have reached the moment where the first ever Green Bay Packer pick to be made in Green Bay has arrived. That moment is finally here. And what do you think is happening somewhere technically within
If we trade out. I told you I'll sit here and fucking laugh if they do it.
Oh, how ironic it would be with
Patrick Golden, who's my top receiver that's left on the board. All these years, the Packers taking
Yeah.
where they refused to do it. But maybe they just didn't want to play a road game. Maybe they wanted to bring the draft to them and make it a little bit bigger moment. Who was it? Who was it from Florida State?
I would just take Golden here if it was me.
2002?
But I'll tell you what, if they take Johnson here, the corner, I wouldn't be pissed about it.
Wide receiver in the first round. They have taken pass catchers in the first round.
Because you'd still have that potential trade on the block for Alexander for George Pickens.
And the German Pepper starter, you were asking, will the German Pepper be there?
And by the way, we have heard Country Roads all this week.
What a scene. My goodness gracious.
By the way, I was asking for this draft. How many people are going to show up to this thing? The answer, all of them.
Yeah. A lot of cheese curds in that crowd.
Remember Green Bay has a population of 107,000 people. Well, they each brought a buddy. Everyone brought a friend, and they're all here. You show and bring one with you.
Listen to this.
They go wild. This place is going to explode. Where's the base? Go. Walking in here. Everyone, all of them. They better not show him. We want a wide receiver. I mean, you just hear it out of the breeze. They go wide receiver, and this place will explode.
Could you imagine that they do finally for the first time in 20 days?
We're trying to. Well, this still didn't make.
Wide receiver for
Burkholz's fat thumbs don't work that well. Wheelchair is against the Bear patrons. What does that even mean? Ooh, what? Yes, we want a contributor day one.
Is Judith with you? Did you abandon Judith?
And that's important to know because that's usually why a team trades back.
Because Renee's right there.
Yeah. But Judith doesn't have a breath back, remember?
Right.
So where's Judith?
Gabby never puts wide receiver in the corner either.
Dirty Dancing?
Sucker Goody. I know. I knew it auto-corrected. I'm gonna say that they actually do the wide receiver this year. They go Golden. Then we could call him Green and Golden. Huh? You wanna not stand in front of the fucking TV so you can see it? Thank you.
What the Patriots do, let's protect them. You go Will Campbell. This is an opportunity to tell Jordan Love, hey, we think you can go beat Minnesota. We think you can go beat Detroit. And again, I love the idea of them going offense right now. They've got to the third most drops in the National Football League. I know it's not what they've done historically. I understand that. Maybe I'm just biased for the moment right here with these
nerds.
Multiple 100,000 people behind me, but Jordan Love in this division is going to need to score points.
As of right now, we did see the celebration. We did see the celebration in the draft room, but they have not put the words "the pick is in" up yet. And we imagine when that happens, there will be a massive ovation. But the pick is in fact been made.
They traded up. The Boston College edge.
This draft is essentially here in many reasons because
Yeah, see, look, that whole walkway is open.
so he will be out on the stage for this moment, and the Vikings are now on the clock. And as you can see, the fans have just started the pick is in fact again.
They take Jackson Dart.
No way Brian Gutekunst is trading now.
Jackson Dart.
I'm just looking right behind us. They would have been away. You've got the little kid on his dad's shoulders with his Reggie White jersey, so he can see over this crowd and find out who the Packers are going to take. I mean,
Yeah, and I see a little girl.
it's really cool, man.
The Packers gear on. So many jerseys of the Packers. Not a single soul was looking this way.
80% of the jerseys out there are Packers. The whole town came. Paul, don't you jinx this, you son of a bitch. Just fucking just pack this podcast up and fucking leave. Go home, fuck this place.
The party's about to break out, guys, because it's time to throw things to the draft stage for the first draft in Green Bay and the first round pick of the Packers to be announced. Let's head next to the stage.
Oh, good. Now they can beat the shit out of both of them.
Okay, Green Bay, it's your time. To make this historic.
They brought Murphy up just so they could tell him that to be traded out.
Two-time Super Bowl champion and Packers president and CEO, Mark Murphy. Yeah, man, what a
Thank you, Roger. How about this atmosphere? It's unbelievable.
Whatever you do, you can do it now.
Roger, thank you to the NFL for bringing the draft here in Green Bay for the best draft in the history of the NFL. Right here.
Shut up. Just tell us who it is.
On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL draft at Lambeau Field. It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event.
Quit jerking yourselves off. Let's just go.
We are the only community-owned team in the NFL. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are owners? We also have the best owners in the NFL. And we also want to celebrate the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, have the wide receiver. Listen to this crowd, baby. Matthew Golden, wide receiver.
Yeah. Yes. Good shit. Good fucking shit. Fuck you, Paul.
You can't script this any better. Everybody in this entire crowd wanted a wide receiver, Rich, and they came through for him. Listen to this.
Good kid. Good kid. Yeah, who met him yesterday? This guy.
Talk about giving the people what they want. Let's bring a draft to Green Bay. Let's hold it in the parking lot. Let's have 125,000 people.
That's your number one right there.
And have the first wide receiver taken with a first-round pick since 2002. And let's have the kid be here in Green Bay, and let's have the word gold in his last name. That is what we call checking every box.
DJ, I think you were the one coming up with it right into me. This is that Matthew Green and Golden.
By the way, this is also the greatest example of peer pressure that I've ever seen in my entire life. So many textbooks. So remember, the fans on the team. Okay, the fans on the team.
And there is the Green Bay Packer wide receiver, Matthew Golden.
Look at the jacket. He's even color-coded for the pick.
He was telling me the story the other day, guys, about how he and his family were on hard times times that he and his mom on hard times, thinking about those moments, growing up, getting through it. Now here he is, a first-round draft choice.
That's my guy.
And a member of the Green Bay Packers announced and introduced here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is someone who ran 4.29, but not just a speed receiver. You see a lot of snap in his routes. Watch him when he gets to the top of the separation, the big time juice and burst he shows out at the break point. How about the ball skills? Look at this catch. Go out and get that with one hand. That'd be well received with this crowd here. The ball skills, again, underthrown ball, able to get back to it. The adjustment ability, again, not just a speed receiver. This guy's got natural route.
Let me get Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
He doesn't know the go back, go yet. He went to get Green Bay.
We'll do it differently come preseason.
Sorry,
that kid on the bicycle will teach him first day of camp. They'll be all right.
Good day, good first day.
Look at coming from the University of Houston, he gets to Texas. There's other guys you thought that offense would funnel through, but CD, when their season was on the line against Arizona State, it's 4th down and everything matters. 4th and 13. Where does Quinn Ewers go at the Rock to save their season? This guy.
And I want to get back very quickly. Joel brought this up. In this division, you got to score points to keep up. Minnesota's going to score points. Detroit's going to score points. Chicago looks like they're on their way to score points. You want to keep up. How many drops last year? So Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, you're getting a new guy in town. They got to pump this up.
We're not going to have Christian Watson for most of the year, if anything, in 25. You had to get him. Had to get him. It's my boy.
Was this destiny for you tonight, Matthew Golden wearing the green and gold?
Yeah, it was all a part of the plan, man.
If it wasn't T-Mac, it was Golden. That's who I wanted.
You get to make a lot of decisions now about your life, but one of which it sounds like you want to do something really special for your family. What is that now that you get to play in the NFL?
Man, I want to get back to my grandma. You know, we lost our property a couple of years ago. And, I just want to get back to my family, man. And, they did so much for me, and they put me in this position. So all I can do is get back to them.
They love you for that, and you got a whole lot of new family here tonight.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So I had Brian Gutekunst on my show yesterday. The guest after him was Matthew Golden. And then when Gutekunst got up out of the chair and Golden walked over to it, they hugged each other like they had met each other. It wasn't their first time meeting. Had no idea at the time that would be 24 hours later.
Minnesota.
The first wide receiver taken by a Green Bay Packer. By the way, in Matthew Golden's lifetime, because he was born the year after Javon Walker was taken first. That's awesome. By the Pack.
The Rich Eisen show bringing people together.
No, just telling you, it was a neat moment right there. And then here's a buzzkill for.
This could be a corner.
It's a Vikings fan.
It should be a corner. This is probably Johnson.
With the 24th pick.
Could be here.
2025 NFL Draft.
I think it's Johnson.
The Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, guard, Ohio State.
Okay.
So Donovan Jackson is going to Minnesota.
Okay, what's happening with Justin Simmons?
To invest in this offensive line. He started out left
Josh Simmons?
From
Ohio State. I don't know. I think he's pretty decent.
He more than held his own, but his future is going to be inside at guard. That's where he plays best. That's where he's most impactful because of his ability. Run game, he can haul people. He can knock you off the ball. He plays with outstanding temperament and motor.
Now I got to see what they said about Donovan Jackson versus.
On the backside, you can see here he can reach and seal to get some of those cutback runs. A nice fit with the Vikings.
Well, his job is to protect somebody who beat him twice. JJ McCarthy. Look who's on the clock, guys. The New York Giants have just.
I know they needed an offensive lineman. Jackson Dart, maybe? Could be.
Check out the new whip.
Holy cow.
Bud Light. As many Bud Lights as it takes.
I mean, they're not trading up with Sanders and Dart still there. They're not going to have to trade up for Milrose. So this has to be, if they like Dart more than they liked. Reunite them with neighbors. That was a talking point too.
Homes.com. Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team.
Oh yeah, this is going to be. That's why they took Jackson over Simmons, because he's got more flexibility. That's right. Jackson was the kid that he started. He got smoked like the first game that he was at left tackle, and then the second game was against Penn State. He shut down Abdul Carter. He looked real good doing it too.
Are we going to see Shador go now? Check this out.
You got to check out and see what that trade was.
Welcome back.
Still like Sanders. All right. Let's see what this trade is. We got the Giants trading up.
I got the first question off.
Professors were great because they've had several years' experience in the field. They've seen emergency management hands-on. I'm able to learn from their experience and really make a difference. I picked University of Maryland
Okay, hang on, let me.
because we get so much more out of it than just a diploma. Learn about our more than 100.
All right, so the Texans traded the 25th pick to the Giants. And the Giants gave them the number 34, number 99, and a third rounder in 26.
We'll play that video during the show. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to do the show at 8 o'clock.
They chose to love us. They didn't. They chose us. Learn about adopting a team from foster care. You can't.
I don't. No. We're just going to wait.
What a last 10 minutes.
I think it's dark too.
Green Bay introducing their newest player to Green Bay.
I think it's dark.
Receiver taking the first round pick in 23 years.
Because you're going that 33, what was it, 34 and 99. So it's a high second, and
his umbrella, or is he a New York Giant? Daniel Jeremiah, you said it was going to be a trade up for Jackson last night.
I felt like that was their preference with the quarterbacks with Jackson.
Sure.
They had done
Yeah.
a ton of work on him and know him extremely well. I just thought he's a little more physical of a quarterback when you think about the division and where they play.
the trade, Texans traded the 25th pick to the Giants for their third rounder this year, and then a third rounder next year.
Quarterback, and now they were patient. That was not a steep price they had to pay to potentially go up and land a quarterback after already getting a premier player.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Now, at Jackson Dart too, you
that's all I'm saying. It's only 22 slots away. Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Giants have kind of come away with a quarterback, right? Like at this point in time, they damn the torpedoes for it right now, and I know it's not that expensive when you think about it, but they had to do something. And if they come away with a quarterback and after Carter, that's what we call a big W, not a big blue, right? You would think. Certainly, again, if there's anybody supposedly on hot seats there, a third round pick next year. Go for it. And they still have a third round selection tomorrow, Johnny.
Dart would be better with Neighbors.
And they got 2 vets to handle that business at the position this year. This makes a lot of sense to me.
If you're looking at the 2 quarterbacks that we would think is potential here, Shador and Jackson Dart. Shador is much more pro-ready than Jackson Dart. However, the Giants don't need ready. You know, they probably are looking at upside over near-term play right now at the same time.
You'll find out right now.
The Rams just traded out, and Atlanta traded a 1 next.
Yeah, you'd want Dart to sit. At pick 25, it's worth it.
The New York Giants.
No shit.
With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback.
So it is the oldest quarterback, Jackson Dart. He is a first-round selection. He is going to the division with Dak and Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels. He is going to be a guy who has every shot in the world to be the quarterback of the Giants.
Going to be too much for him. Going to be too much for him.
What a moment for this kid sitting in Utah right now, going to Broadway to be the Giants quarterback at some point.
Yeah, this young quarterback, Ole Miss, is going to have fun throwing to Malik Neighbors at LSU. The SEC rival is going to get along quite well there as they grow up together. This is someone who got better every year. You see the comparison there with Jalen Hurts, and that's what that's about. You're buying into someone who just continues to improve. You look at what he does with these kind of up and down throws, over linebackers, under safeties, that shows you the touch. The ability to escape rushers, get away, and make plays down the field. You see the deep ball here right on the money. Got a nice pairing of wide receivers to throw the ball to there at Ole Miss. The pocket movement, you see him climb up in the pocket versus pressure. And he was a fantastic runner, no doubt, for Lane Kiffin in that offense. And Charles, I think there's something to the fact, I know you're going to have pressure. You're going into New York, you're a quarterback, you're going to have pressure.
Right.
He's going to be the second one to speak at the press conference. At least you've got Abdul Carter there. It's different than if you would have been the third pick in the draft, in my opinion.
And you get to watch Russell Wilson do it, Jameis Winston do it. You know, it's not there. But here's the other part. We're going to do all the connecting of the dots, Joel. The Ole Miss connection. Eli Manning came out of Ole Miss. Now we got another quarterback out of there. But guess what, folks? It all started with Charlie Connerly out of Ole Miss. And guess who won the Connerly Award last year as the top player in the state of Mississippi? Jackson Dart. This kid is.
Oh my God, they still got Tommy DeVito though. He could take that spot.
With it going to New York, I think he's in a great situation where he doesn't have to start right away, as you said, Joel.
Yeah, Kurt, I know that you like Jackson Dart. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on his game.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I think this is so much about now he's not Josh Allen, but we think about what Brian Daboll did with Josh Allen.
Oh, Atlanta just traded up?
Can move, the design runs, the movement scheme that he likes.
Atlanta traded up to 26. No, they're getting their corner.
In Buffalo is what Jackson Dart to me separated.
They're going to get their corner.
Pierce, okay. Of this group of quarterbacks. And so, Shador Sanders, I know we wondered if he would be the guy. I just look style-wise what Brian Daboll wants to do. It more fits Jackson Dart. DJ made the comparisons to Jalen Hurts, and I believe that's the kind of guy he is. And he can do both the movement, the off the and make those second-level throws really, really well.
So Jackson Dart is going to be into a quarterback group with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets.
We will see how it plays out. Shador Sanders is
He's my favorite quarterback in the draft. I love him.
Assuming Atlanta is definitely not traded back.
Love his tape. I love his tape from 22 to 24, like watching the progression. I love his 500 yards a season rushing. Everything. I tried to talk myself out of him being the QB1, and I could not do it.
A second tomorrow night, a seventh on Saturday, and a first rounder next year. And then a third from the Rams. The Rams now have a second round.
Just put a bunch of snacks out. Munchies? I mean, it's basically going to be Daniel Jones redux.
Hey, you want some?
Yeah, but he can play. All right, be right back.
Kind of the middle of
yeah, it's got to be Will Johnson.
Second night of the draft, they have 2 3s, 4 6s, and a 7. And a first rounder next year, Atlanta's giving up a lot of capital for this pick.
Les has got to get a new problem of collecting picks. Yeah, but here's the part with Atlanta. It's a division they think they can still go get somebody. Tampa's won it 4 straight years. They haven't run away with the division. Atlanta feels like they still do.
Los Angeles Rams have traded the 26th pick to the Atlanta Falcons. With the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr., defensive end, Tennessee.
So the team that needed pass rush has now absolutely checked the boxes this evening.
We begged them for years. Just take a pass rusher in the first round. They never did. Now they decided to double down. How about that? A big-time explosive athlete. Leonard Floyd is the body type. You see the height.
All right, took the edge rusher.
Narrow frame.
It's fine.
He ran on the 4 floors, and it shows up.
How'd they take him earlier?
He's got a variety of moves. He's not just going to live with that speed.
Combos.
As well as underneath the tackle.
Welcome, Raider Nation, from Green Bay to the site of the NFL Draft 2025. Is there any news tonight, Raider Thomas? Anything to talk about tonight, or should we just call it?
Snack time, baby.
We got
Snacks.
the way we said that.
As Paul would say it. Paul would say it as snacks. Snack. And we got Nicolette back from our live reaction from earlier.
Are those cookies?
Are
they like cookies?
I'm sitting here, and Ashton Genty had just
they do have
finished his press conference, so I'm about to play that. It's long,
Vegan
it's about 8
pretzels?
minutes, so you guys have some time to check it out.
Vegan.
I got to ask 2 questions. I got to bookend it. I asked the first question, I asked the last question. So let's go ahead and look at that.
Rich, TJ is right. The Falcons came this close to picking James Pierce at number 15 overall. They have, in fact, done extensive homework on his character, trying to understand the immaturity. They've talked to basically everyone he knows. They met with him and his mom yesterday doing late homework on Pierce, believe in the culture that Ricky Morris has created. Rich, James Pierce, now Falcon.
Keep up with every pick on NFL.com with the draft tracker presented by Alexis. So it's the first time in 11 years we didn't see a single first round pick traded between the league year and the beginning of the draft beginning. And we saw not only multiple first round picks traded tonight, but involving 2 first round picks in next year's draft. Unbelievable. In the trades tonight. Can't make it up. Ravens, Lions, Commanders, Bills coming up.
Go Balls.
Still trying to find out what they traded. All right.
Because a car that doesn't make you feel something is a car that's not shooting.
Cheese curds are fantastic, but it depends on where you got them, because sometimes they're square and it's weird.
No, I was just asking if snacks was cheese curds.
And I was just making a statement about cheese curds.
Who is?
This stuff works, guaranteed for your money back. This is round up. This stuff works.
Where's Paul at?
That trust is a busy line.
There's the bar.
A lot of my peers use the line. Seeing results now, I honestly say that.
Is he at the bar in the stadium or somewhere else?
No, he's outside. Outside the stadium.
How are we supposed to find him?
After the draft. You know. It's going to take us so long to get out of here.
I still have an hour drive north. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow.
They still don't have the damn what they traded to get that.
And that would even work for the story I'm
Probably not.
Experiences, all Chase Empire Reserve.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking all state first. Like you know to check that it is actually over before you sign it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check all state first for a good saving hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Verizon small business days are back. Our experts closer to the industry. Verizon. Ready to serving of deals, bites
Well, hold on.
for everyone. Even on the job.
Hey, hi.
And making sure all your tech
Let's take a look.
is good to go. April 21st to 27th. Don't wait. It started today. The future is here. We've been creating it for more than 100 years. From the most advanced technology to the broadest, most reliable network of sales and service dealers. Always moving forward. We lead, others follow. Every year, Rich Eisen runs the voyage to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Still don't know what.
Visit stjude.org/OneRichRun to donate. And tune in to the 2025 NFL Draft on NFL Network to see Rich Run.
Hey everybody, Verizon Small Business Days are here now. Through Sunday.
Still haven't told us what the trade was.
In. The Lions are on the clock. 2 minutes and change into that. Then it's the Commanders. Then it's the final 14 for the night. The runners-up of Conference Championship weekend last year, and then the Super Bowl.
Schefter have it?
The Ravens are applauding. I love it. Ozzie Newsom's still in that room, man. And there is Mr. DaCosta.
Okay, here we go.
Steve Bisciotti's back to the camp. The head coach on the phone.
All right, so
everybody was sharping.
Atlanta got to move up, and they got the Rams' third-round pick. Rams get the second round, Atlanta's second rounder, seventh rounder, and did they sneak in the first round pick
for 2026? So Rams got 2 first-round picks next year.
I'm so glad you said that because high safety is how I thought he played best. And that combo with Kyle Hamilton, that would be perfect for them.
There is an Alabama player on the board. So we'll see what happens.
With the 27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks, defensive back, Georgia.
Pairing with Hamilton. Only problem is he got out athleticized at the combine by Harold Fannin. So if he can't keep up with some tight ends.
Take it away.
Yeah, this is someone who can play in the nickel, can play as the high safety. I think with the Ravens, that's where he's going to be. He's going to be that on top of the Christmas tree safety there. Someone who's very smooth, fluid. You talk to folks at Georgia, they talk about the leadership he provided. He has got big time character, excellent communicator, and excellent leader. Here he is down the field, locating the ball in the deep half, showing you those ball skills. This was in an early game here, right off the shoot. I love this guy. Watch him go up and get it. That was the season opener. That was it. So you want to see a lot of people play some those opportunities the rest of the year, but watch him tackle. Watch him fill the alley close.
Ooh, Detroit might get another corner.
What I love is he's such a smart player. Day one, he started to get there over day one on campus, and he has been not only a great player for them, but a great leader, like you mentioned. And for my money, at least, CD, when I look at what he can do, you look at the versatility throughout the secondary. Yes, you can go be on top of the Christmas tree, but you can also start moving him around because he is confident enough in his football IQ, where you've got a personal piece in that secondary to do a lot of things. Two things. Number one, when you play on any team, the worst position to play for is the one head coach used to specialize in. Kirby Smart was a secondary player in college football. Second thing, Darius Washington did a nice job for them filling in last year. Malachi Smart should bypass him and team up with Kyle Hamilton. Look, I spent 4 years in that building, and there is a pride on the defensive side of the ball. And last year, guys, it was not good enough. This was the 31st pass defense in the league.
Sunships of all the things
That's not up to their standard. Get better about the last 5-6 games of the season. Better to see him come along. Better even they not in. But
Yeah, but I follow it up with this.
Well, they had regular Doritos, and they ran out. They got those. I've never even seen those before.
I hadn't either. That's why I got them. Hell yeah. All right, so he loves Raider Nation already. A lot of that was stock and standard. It's a press conference, but a lot of you guys just saw that first before anybody else had a chance to get it out, and that's awesome. Ashton Genty, man, that's our new dude.
Lurking at the top of the draft tomorrow night. I have to wonder if you want yourself some Shedeur Sanders you might have to get in over the next half hour of this draft.
Because right now people can sit. They don't have to make that move. They don't have to, because based off of what's left on the board, no one on the board is a quarterback team left. So all you're worried about, Cleveland, is there someone else out there that you have to worry about?
It would have to be Pittsburgh or maybe New Orleans trying to jump back to get back in. I don't know.
I'm old enough to remember when the Browns fans woke up this morning and thought they might get both Hunter and Sanders.
Yeah, and I really loved his answer about modeling his game after Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode ran with attitude. Beast mode ran with violence. If we can get that out of Genty, that's going to be huge.
They want to go and get a quarterback in next year's draft, which everybody says is a deeper quarterback draft than the one this year. And another team that might need a
Corner linebacker or safety. You can get an edge rusher there too.
We talked about that as like coach speak kind of signal versus noise stuff a few weeks ago, and I mean there's not much that we can say at this point that we haven't already said over the last few months in draft season about Ashton Genty, how good he is, how good or bad that would be as a pick at 106, what the Raiders are going to do, but you know it's April 24th, it's happened, we're set. It's water under the bridge at this point. The only thing that I didn't get a chance to ask him was what if he had a message for Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby, or what he thought about iron sharpening iron and getting to see those guys every day. Well, probably Christian Wilkins, but definitely Max Crosby every day. But the fact that dude saw more loaded boxes in college football last year than anybody else, and he still did the things that he did, that's going to bode well.
And he and Kyle Hamilton, I guess you can take safety off the board for the Ravens for quite some time, right? They're good shape. My goodness gracious. So that's the latest.
Lions are in. What do you think?
The Lions, that appears to be Dan Campbell going through the line. Dapping everyone up.
I tell you what, if I'm in the room with Dan Campbell, just give him a fist bump. I don't want to hug.
That's right. What do you think the Lions just did?
I thought they would look at interior offensive line, but guys, you got kind of wiped out when you look at the interior offensive.
Because Booker would have made so much sense for them there. Donovan Jackson would have made so much sense for them there. You notice who you don't see in the room? Chris Spielman. Yeah. Always has a big influence there, but Chris always manages to stay out of camera sight.
Yeah. So let's talk real quick about what else has happened. We still have the Chiefs to go, but we do have our main competitors underneath the Chiefs. The bottom three of the AFC West. They have made their picks. We had Johnny Barron going to the Denver Broncos. I thought he slipped a little bit. I would have thought he'd have gone a little bit earlier, like somewhere in the late single digits or early teens. I really like him. I thought that he'd be a good fit with the Raiders as well. And then we have the Chargers drafting Omari and Hampton, which I'm surprised that Omari and Hampton lasted until the 22nd pick. The Johnny Barron pick scares me because I like him a lot, and now we're going to be facing 2 times a year. We're going to be looking at Patrick Surtain on one side of the field and Johnny Barron lining up in the slot. Used mainly as a nickel corner at first, and unless he can establish himself as an outside corner. And then Omari and Hampton, the whole division just got better, right?
Mid-year after their loss to Oregon with that
taking that D in.
their defensive line coach and
Tyreek Williams took that philosophy change, and he was better in the second half of the season. His production was primarily as a true freshman, never quite got to that level. That was some weight issues, but I will tell you this, when he wants to go, he's really good and strong, like I said, on base down.
And this fits what they do. The culture fit for Detroit is the type of player they want. They need to help the defensive tackle.
Or the Chargers. We both took running backs, and Denver countered with the pass defense.
The last 4 picks of the first round coming up.
Same Nicolette. Of course I am. I'm a dummy. Same for you, Nicolette.
Grand entrances in a grand high. Toyota. Let's go places.
Check out the new whip. I fully custom. Bud Light's going to fit.
What is that?
As many Bud Lights as it takes.
All right, so Washington. I think we talked about this up the middle, like every other team.
Well, everybody figured that Hampton was going to go to the Broncos, and he wound up not doing it. So that just kind of fell into Harbaugh's lap. So now, if Harbaugh's looking at his backfield, he's got his guy in Blake Corum, and he's got Amari in Hampton. That's pretty rude.
Maybe Josh Simmons.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
You tackle lineman.
See, you know what? That's what flying all night and then like getting 2 hours of sleep gets you. Start losing the thread.
Take Will Johnson here.
All right. Any other surprises that we saw from this first round?
Take Sanders still and put him back in the slot. 2 Michigan boys play together on that championship team.
Yeah.
When you graduate, visit
Take Campbell.
That's very Ravens pick.
Thousands of families affected by disasters urgently need support.
Okay.
You can help the American Red Cross provide help and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org/NFL today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
Well, the Washington Commanders are about to announce their pick as we look at the green room filled by those. There are 4 players left in that green room, meaning it looks like some will still be in there tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And Shador Sanders enjoying his time at his party in Texas, and unless somebody comes and trades in the last 3 picks with Buffalo, Chiefs, or Eagles, we will be looking at him at his party tomorrow night as well, waiting to hear his name called. So keeping an eye on all of that, as the team that was 2nd overall on the clock in last year's draft is about to announce their pick 4th to last in this year's draft, and that's the name of the game, right? You're going 2nd overall, you draft yourself a unicorn, and make sure that you're not picking until the last half hour of the next draft.
Which is something right. You talk about being ahead of schedule. With what they did last year,
Is everybody watching this on? You go
I'm just
on
on
YouTube.
Monty Vidal.
This team they're just ahead of schedule. Look at what they inherited.
Here comes Washington.
Now, we have. Do you have much for? Do you have something for Hall of Shade? Okay, we'll do like a communal Hall of Shade. We'll laugh at some of these draft picks. Connerly just going to Washington is pretty good. I think he's one of the most underrated tackles in this draft. I really like him.
Adam Peters is going to do his darndest to make sure that he's protected. Larry Tunsil is going to play the left tackle. Josh Connerly is going to slide right in as the right tackle. And then Brandon Coleman's going to be a nice swing tackle for him. So he even has some depth there. Look, to me, this is a player who plays, who plays very hard.
Keep building that offensive line.
Get out over his skis.
Connerly's good.
He's sitting in the rocking chair. He's real strong and sturdy. He faced a lot of good rushers on the schedule this year, including a battle with Abdul Carter. You see the athleticism when he gets out there in space in the run game. Another example here of him just staying attached, which you'd love to see. And here he is as a Pee Wee player, which that doesn't look very Pee Wee to me. That looks another.
No, go ahead.
Certificate.
You.
Yeah, my son's going to be sick that day when we're playing that team. Did he get on the scales that day? Because you know you got to have weigh-ins for this. Right. Where's the patch on it? Player, right? And Travis Hunter is
3 more picks. Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philadelphia.
We're seeing a lot of those, Rich. We're seeing a lot of these offensive linemen on these throwbacks in college. They are so much more athletic than they've ever been. A lot of them are ex-tight ends moving inside the tackle.
You know, we talked about Kelvin Banks maybe being rated higher, but that one, the 2 games against Georgia, it was a rough tape. Similar with Josh Connerly, basically all of his pressures were against Ohio State. Yeah, they were rolling. You know, I called the Buckeyes.
Well, as we know as Raider fans, it can't hurt to have 2 really good tight ends. And there are some analyst circles that I travel in that have Loveland as a better prospect.
Connerly from Oregon.
It wasn't as big a surprise to me as it was to Raider Thomas as far as Loveland going to Washington ahead of Tyler Warren, but it is that it was Chicago that did it. They have been mocked to taking a running back. They've been mocked to all different kinds of things, but certainly not taking a tight end. But if you have a guy like Colson Loveland who's there, I mean, similar to Brock Bowers,
I'll put him at right tackle. That's right. They got Tunsil. Jeremy Tunsil.
They probably have a grade on Loveland similar to what we had on Bowers last year.
Rounds 2 and 3.
He fell into their lap. All right, let's get to our Slayer of the Week, and I think we know we're going to be unanimous on this one. Actually, you know what? Let's try and think of 3 different ones. Here we go.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow, man.
In this conversation after them, and then come the Philadelphia Eagles. Real quick before we start turning our attention to potential trades.
All right, Ricky Hender-Damas, you are leading off.
On their selection. If the Bills stick and pick, what do you think?
I looked at defensive tackle, the defensive line. I have him taking Trey Amos, a corner out of Ole Miss. We've still got Maxwell Hairston is out there. Will Johnson hasn't gone. There's only been 1 corner that's gone.
And what about pass rush? Because that's another obvious spot to me.
I'm excited to see
still sitting out there.
With Joey Bosa coming in there. And they're going to be fun to watch.
But Joe Bosa hasn't played 12 games, right? How many years?
Buffalo, what are we going to do here?
So I'm not saying that's the pick, but it is a rock who's still there. Mike Green's still sitting out there for pass rush. But I know this. I keep hearing they want to do a little more man coverage, Joel. And if they want to do more man coverage into the secondary, man, Max is sitting out there right now. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame is sitting out there right now. So we'll see if they decide to go in that direction.
Yes, here's what I would say. Just like, college guy coming in looking at Buffalo. There's 2 ways that you beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And they're the same way. What Tampa did in the Super Bowl and what Philadelphia did in the Super Bowl. Put Patrick Mahomes on his
trying to hold this out until 11.
To me, I don't know if there's enough.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Nicolette? Who is your Slayer of the Week?
They've been run through in this draft. There's not really, those top end guys. You're taking production here. Maybe Mike Green from Marshall, who left as Araku, the 10 hitters, and Donovan, and as Araku, he had 16 and a half sacks. That would be interesting to me.
Just put a number on it. They were 21st in the league in run coverage.
coverage. So
if they want to play more, they got to bump that up. Remember, they swung the midnight Kyrie.
Brian Hartline.
Well, to be exact, Daniel, there's been one cornerback taken in this draft who also hasn't played wide receiver at the same time. You're talking about Johnny Barron, who went 20th overall to the Denver Broncos, to be paired up with the reigning defensive player of the year at the same time.
Can I make one request?
Okay.
Travis Hunter at the press conference. Do me
Mine
a favor.
too.
Come out as a wide receiver, do a press conference, change outfits, come out as a corner, do another one.
I love it. So here comes the commissioner with the Bills pick and another special guest with him. The Chiefs are on the clock right now, and we're about to hear the Bills selection.
You kind of just did.
Stepping up to have an even
So what I'm hearing, Nicolette, is you're calling Raiders Buccaneers Super Bowl. That's what you just.
We have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving
Yes.
young man.
All right, so I'm going to eschew taking Ashton Genty as well. We all know that he is absolutely our player of the week. But I'm going to go Brock Bowers. And the reason why is because having a running back of the caliber of Genty is going to open up a play-action game for Geno Smith. And with Brock Bowers' ability to get open, to absolutely destroy linebackers, to absolutely destroy defensive backs, with his size, with his speed, I think it's going to lead to an even better career for Brock Bowers, to have somebody that you can't stack the box against the Raiders anymore. You can't do it. They have a running game now, and people are going to be scared of Geno Smith's deep arm. So whereas you had 9 guys in the box because Gardner Minshew wasn't going to be able to do a damn thing, you have to account for Ashton Genty. You have to account for Brock Bowers. Jacoby Myers had 1,000 yards last year. So it opens up everything, and I think especially it opens it up for our wide receiver one, Brock Bowers.
Formerly in Philadelphia.
Nope.
And Howard Roseman, currently in Philadelphia, just made a deal. The Eagles put the 5th round selection to Kansas City to move up one slot. They're on the clock. So that means Kansas City is the final trade partner for anybody who wants to hop into the first round and choose somebody. That is now how you see back players tapping the Bills logo and
Kansas City and the Eagles just traded picks.
On the Kentucky Wildcat.
Well, first of all, this is a defense that was 29th third down defense last year.
So Philadelphia moves up one.
That number jumped way up. The key third down of the season got him on that mesh flag in the playoffs with all.
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow night. Unless you want to hear what this trade is.
We've seen him do it. He can line up. He can take away guys who can run.
So stupid.
And he's feisty for his size. So I'm looking forward to seeing him match up with the different types of lineups. Just see what
Traded number 164 to the Chiefs to move up one spot.
If he came out after last year's
That's fair. That's very fair. How do you feel about our guy Gray Zabel going as high as 18?
Sideways when they heard that they traded with the Chiefs. Yep. And allowed the Chiefs to get Xavier Worthy, the fastest guy in history of the combine. The Bills just drafted this year's fastest guy at the combine, who I would imagine would be marking Xavier Worthy in future games.
And it will be a great race as you watch him here. The burst, look at how fast and explosive he is. He can put it on cruise control on the way to the end zone.
Eagles just traded a 5th round pick to move up one spot.
I can recover that.
Really?
He's going up against you. We know he can really run that.
Are they on the clock?
Yeah.
Recover there. The big year
Because Howie Roseman can't keep his hands in his pockets.
That year, this year, we're talking about some of the top 10, top 15 picks.
Yeah, I thought that the Seahawks' major upgrade need was that offensive line, and they addressed that. And Zabel he's nasty. He's such a monster. All right, let's do a Hall of Shade, but it's not Raider Domus Hall of Shade. It's the Raiders Uncovered Hall of Shade. We'll start with Nicolette. Your worst pick in this draft, and let's make sure that we get it in before the Chiefs. Oh, did they?
I'm so blessed, man. I'm so happy to hear my name called. It's truly a dream come true. I give all thanks to God.
And your family.
They just flipped
so
picks?
that you are wearing them with your heart and soul tonight. Show us your jacket.
Everywhere. They want me everywhere I go. I love my family, man.
My biggest support system.
Congratulations, and Western New York's gonna love you.
Let's get to work, Buffalo!
Congratulations to Maxwell Harrison. So the 164th overall pick that belonged to Philadelphia now belongs to Kansas City. The Eagles just made the pick that they coughed up the 164th overall pick to go select. So handshakes all around for the defending Super Bowl champs. And the Chiefs are on the clock right now. We'll find out how the first round wraps up when we come back.
Official fantastic. It's open a new world for me. Every now and then they have NFL fans all season long.
All right, how about you, Raider Thomas?
See you on game day.
This is Roundup 12. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed for money back. This stuff works on big lawns and small lawns, and I guess you can call that.
Fuck you, Roundup. That shit doesn't work on clover at all.
This stuff works without killing your weed. This stuff works for the rookies and the seasoned pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronx, Rockville, and Marysville. This is Roundup 12. This stuff works.
The guy sitting next to your girl in the kiss cam. This game has got a lot more interesting.
All right. I do want to kind of fall in line with the what the fuck were they doing with teams, and I like a lot of people had that thought with Derek Harmon. I thought Derek Harmon slipped. I thought he could have gone a little bit higher. I don't know why the Steelers did that. The reason I say that is because who is the Steelers quarterback at the moment? Right. How do you go into the season? How do you finish the Thursday night
East Coasters handle
draft week with Mason Rudolph as your only real quarterback?
They better start a little bit earlier next year.
Yep. Yeah, Kyle McCord too.
What's that?
Yep.
Yep, what? 2 more picks.
Harrison just got picked.
But for that, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field.
How's the live stream going?
Draft night will be legendary.
Good. We're just chilling. Everybody's getting worn out. It's at the end.
Yeah, that's the problem. Since everybody's worn out now.
That's what it'll be like tomorrow.
That time I remembered the name
get
correctly.
towards the back end of the third round.
So the thing, if you guys remember watching the
podcast
Ashton Genty video that I played, there was a moment where all of a sudden you hear this whoa, like a big rise, and that was the Derek Harmon pick. That was exactly when it happened, and that was from the TV in that interview room, and it was broadcasting the crowd reaction at the draft when they took Harmon. Everybody went oh, and there was a big rumbling. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so my Pelishade, I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys. So this has nothing to do with Tyler Booker. This has to do with the Dallas Cowboys. What the fuck are you doing when Omarion Hampton goes off the board? When you don't make any trades, you don't try and like pop up to grab Genty. You don't try and take one of these running backs who are considered a generational talent or whatever, and you go with guard. How many more impactful players could the Cowboys have gone with? Instead, they go with a guard from Ohio State when you can get guards later, and even Josh Simmons is still there. Like, what Dallas Somebody tweeted the other day a quote from Jerry Jones where he said, "We are one of the best drafting teams in the NFL." I responded with, "Yes, Jerry, you're top 32, definitely top 32."
Well, first off, after the selection, I need to get this in.
The Kansas City Chiefs have traded the 31st pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama.
And so alongside in the green one, being, in Philly green, and I mean, the guy who's 12 on your draft board has just been selected by the defending Super Bowl champs 31st overall. Rich, yes, sir.
Speaking of Obi-Wan down here, our league draft expert Daniel Jeremiah writes in his mock draft at 32, they would take him to 31, Philadelphia. The rules are simple with the Eagles. They take the best Alabama or Georgia player who falls into their lap. Campbell's my number 12 player in the draft, so he'd be a tremendous value at the end of round 1. But now for the shoulder surgery he's recovering from, he'd be unlocked to go much higher.
That's true. They can draft me tomorrow, and they'd be convinced they're going to Super Bowl. That was a really good get for Philly.
Shoulder looks pretty healthy to me. It feels a lot better right now.
Let's go into the defending Super Bowl champs.
He can play off the ball. He can play on the ball. Remember, Jordan Dean is going to be recovering from knee surgery that would happen in the playoffs. This guy is going to take a long
So I'm changing my answer to Howie Roseman for my Hall of Shade candidate because he just took Jihad Campbell, and that is the absolute most Howie Roseman pick because it's a linebacker that I love. And every time I like somebody, Howie Roseman grabs him. So fuck you, Howie Roseman. You did it again.
With that speed and range that he had, as well as someone if you want to
that was just Philadelphia. Kansas City just
is that right? The Chiefs
talking
32.
And
you know what?
who you gonna pick? Kansas City having to guess the right player. And so
the Chargers were drafting.
The Eagles are like, well,
and I want to say they had the third
or
pick
something like that. They're like, okay.
And Arizona had the second pick. And Arizona's quarterback was Jake Plummer. And the Chargers traded their third pick to move up one to take the Cardinals pick. The Cardinals dropped back, got Eric Metcalf, a bunch of players, a couple of linebackers that turned into Pro Bowlers, another first-round pick the following year, and a second-round pick, and the Chargers drafted Ryan Leaf. They did that to get Ryan Leaf, and the Cardinals they weren't going to draft Ryan Leaf. They already had Jake Plummer. They weren't going to draft a quarterback. That's terrible.
Rich, here's how bad the Eagles are going to manager Howie Roseman.
Shamar Stewart will be available shortly. Shamar Stewart will be available shortly.
Holy shit.
Thought it was done. The Chargers ended up taking
all right, Shamar Stewart is about to hit the podium. I'm going to get out of here. We will have a show next week. We will see you on Thursday night. Same time, we'll have all of the new Raiders probably signing contracts by then, getting ready to go to rookie camp, all that stuff. This is the best time of the season, baby. This is the restructuring. This is the rebuild. Like the thumbnail says, welcome home, Ashton. I'm pretty psyched. I'm a lot happier than I thought 2 months ago that I would be with the pick that we have. So thank you guys for coming on. Thank you all for watching. Go play Fast Draft, fastdraft.app. Go to Rollin' Smokin' the 907 on Facebook and go buy yourself some smoked pickles and stuff because they help out the show as well. And let's take next week and laugh at the Chiefs. All right.
Never give up the microphone unless
and as every week, fuck the Broncos.
Super Bowl champion. What was it like to receive that phone call from a general manager that constructs a championship roster?
Man, it was just a real feeling, just getting that call and just being here.
Kansas City's going to take here.
Maximize the opportunities when I was younger.
They might take Simmons.
To this point, so
Might take Simmons at tackle.
And you have a future in television that you're going to play. Congratulations.
You doing all right? Yeah, you haven't been on in a while.
County in New Jersey is going to be playing just down the turnpike and across the bridge.
Are you still with
And now we're going to get the
Fox? What if they would take Travion? And then they won't send you to things like this? Thanks, Simmons.
I know, right? It was going to be for Jihad Campbell that they were coughing up the pick, so it would have been a bit of history.
Well, some of the Unwind girls are here. I know Kelly Singh is here, and Faith is here, and yeah, you should come with them next time.
That could be your eventual replacement.
All right, thanks for coming on. And again, you can come on anytime. So we're basically doing Thursday nights at 8. So get ready to do that if you want.
Here's the final pick of the first round. It's from Kansas City.
Yeah, good to see you.
32nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons.
Yep.
Tackle.
There he goes, finally.
There you go.
Makes sense.
Josh Simmons from the
There they go.
That doesn't have to change color scheme very much. He's going to Kansas City to protect Patrick Mahomes.
So we have two guys here at the bottom of the round who didn't have a healthy process, and I think you look at Josh Simmons when he was healthy on the field.
He's
He
a
was
higher level.
outstanding, a real fluid mover. You can see the injury there on the bottom of the screen. Ohio State had to get through.
There we go. We got a tackle off.
He's a San Diego kid. He began at San Diego State, then transferred to Ohio State. Man, he stepped right in at left tackle, and you can see.
Take a look to see who's left at all the positions.
His ability to kind of roll his hips. He can play with leverage. Get
QB, we've already known Sanders.
Sanders,
Shuck.
He's out there. Look at him running here. He's real
Milrow.
I think he's going to be the most talented tackle on the roster.
Got all the freaking running backs outside of Hampton and Genty.
His grandmother was ill when he was picking a school. Decided to stay close to her at San Diego State. She ended
Higgins, Trey Harris, Rutherford, Jalen Noel,
He would have been in play for
Jack Beck,
tackle number 1 or 2.
Jalen
outside of that
Roll.
injury.
Yeah, and here's the other part, which you look at it with Kansas City. They got Jalen Moore in free agency, trying to backstop that.
Let's see here.
Taylor's there, high price right tackle. He's
Tight ends, Arroyo, who I like. That's the guy that was injured. The injury risk with the knees. Mason Taylor, that was who, Terrence Ferguson, Gunnar Helm, Harold Fannin, Mitchell Evans. Offensive tackle, Ursery from Minnesota. That's the kid I didn't like. Trapalio from Boston College. That's the kid I like. Charles Grant out of William and Mary. Anthony Belton from NC State. Cameron Williams. No. Caleb Rogers. It's all right. Got all the guards. Savalier, Ratledge, Lambeau, Marcus Lambeau, Miles Frazier, Milliam, Fairchild, Joe Huber. All your centers are there: Jared Wilson, Seth McLaughlin, Drew Kendall, Jake Majors, Jonah Minehead. D-tackles, Darius Alexander, Shamar Turner, I like him, TJ Sanders, Omar Norman Lott, Alfred Collins. Linebackers are all there. Schweitziger, Demetrius St. Jr., Chris Paul Jr., Danny Stutzman, Cody Simon, Smail Mondin, Jeffrey Bassa, edge rushers, Mike Green, Ezanuka, or Nuku,
from Boston College, Jordan Birch, JT Tumaloa, Oli Odeheho, corners Will Johnson, of course, Phil, Siobhan Ravel, Trey Amos, Benjamin Morrison, Azaria Thomas, safeties, Evan Worry, Kevin Winston Jr., Xavier Watts, Jonas Sanker, Andrew Mukabu. So, Philly does just keep getting better. So I gotta check out some of these press conferences, see what's going on with them, see if we're gonna get any Matthew Goldman at all before I leave. But I'm gonna wrap this up. We will be back at 6 tomorrow for rounds 2 and 3. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. You can put into that contest for the Packers merch. And all the regular all the people that are already subscribed, you already know you're in there. So all good. It's a nice little thank you to everybody. We're gonna sell. We're gonna do a podcast tomorrow morning. I'm tired. I had a long day, but it's all right. This is why we come here. Come fucking hang out and shit. It just sucks. Like I said, it still sucks that Paul wasn't here. But if anything, you see the posts on it, anything that I do, appreciate it if you like, share, repost, all that type of shit. It helps me, helps the site try to grow. Like I said, the faster it grows, the better it's gonna be. So, but for me, for Paul on the outside, everybody have a good night. Peace out. I am done. I am baked.